For the record, the opinions and views expressed over the next hour are simply that. Opinions of the voices on this show. Nothing expressed now or in the future is representative of our sponsors and supporters. Though we do assume that our sponsors and supporters are as open-minded as the conversations you are about to hear. Ah, fuck it. Let's do this shit. Ding!
Hold your breath. Make a wish.
Hey, bonjour and welcome to
SprinkleSumSalt.
I am Bump Jonas here with the gang. Thanks for joining us. All right, let me light this thing up. And away we go. Excuse me.
I was about to.
Wow.
I mean, that's a rom-com name.
DPM.
Could you see a girl scribbling that?
All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode. I am Bump Jonas. Going from left to right, here are...
Yeah, y'all, Big Thrax.
Miss Kim.
Justice.
Pager Rager.
Damo live in full effect, bitch.
All right.
Oh.
Bitch. All right, so it's been a little while since we've all gotten together. We're going to hang out one good time. Today, tonight, this evening, this afternoon, there are no topics. Complete free for all. Everyone gets to just talk your shit and talk your shit.
Yeah, well, I like
Anything.
booty.
What I'd like to see, we can go there. I'd like to just it's been like it's almost been a month since we got together. So I say everyone just let's hit on a topic that has been bothering you for a while, or not bothering you, but it's been on your mind, or if you want to talk about what you've been up to since the last time we got together, whatever we're feeling. It's a complete free for all. Hell, we can talk about monkey nuts if y'all want.
Monkey nuts. Monkey nuts.
Yeah.
Oh. Have you ever seen monkey nuts?
No, I've seen monkey brains in Indiana Jones.
I've seen that. You remember the movie or the show Faces of Death?
Yes.
From like the 70s and the 80s where
So
they were eating the monkey brains?
Anyone be born before 1990. That's pretty much what you wanted to say right there. Anyone
No,
before
because
1990.
motherfucking Morgan used to watch that shit all the time. I didn't even know about that shit till that motherfucker came out.
That's like a docu-series back in when I was a teenager. That was the one that you had to sneak in under the radar.
No, that was the fucking website, wasn't it? Or
No,
something?
I'm talking about the actual movie back in the VHS days.
Oh, I don't remember that.
When you went and you rented the VCR with the VHS.
And you would like rewind the tape and play it again.
You didn't have to rewind
No,
it.
that's what it is.
That's what the baby boomers generation.
No,
That's
that's not baby boomer. That's way before me. Thank you.
Baby boomer.
So what has everyone been up to? What's good? Who we want to start with? We want to start on the right or the left?
You know, I actually have a valid question. I don't know that anybody in this forum can actually help me with it. But I was walking through Ulta today, and it annoys the living shit out of me that these women put their face, like, I'm going to say, Kim Kardashian, all the Kardashians have a makeup line.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely refuse to believe, you have to prove it, that they have anything to do other than, oh, I love that color, it's going to match my new shoes. Yeah, definitely put that in the palette. So I have a problem with these people taking credit for these massive makeup lines when they don't know the first fucking thing about makeup. One, they don't even do their own.
Right.
And two, they were not in that lab creating any of that shit, doing any of that shit, smelling any of that shit, rubbing any of that shit, doing any of that shit, but they put their name on it like, look what I did in my
Do we
basement.
know that they weren't smelling that shit?
I mean, yeah.
Well, they were smelling shit, but not that shit.
I mean, no,
they'll definitely like
R&B
usually
that shit.
like they'll get the sample of like, okay, this
Yeah, they
is
have like
either
one
this
business meeting.
either this could be your Kylie smell or this could be the Kylie smell, like da da da, like like.
I mean, I can see them motherfuckers.
That's great. That's great. Then you know what you do? You put Kylie Jenner or whoever by Morph or by whoever.
Yeah, but
that's bullshit. They are
But if
lying.
it's their business?
It's not their business. They own the name. The shit that's coming out of it is not theirs, and they claim it's theirs.
So you're talking about like Kylie Cosmetics shouldn't be
Yes.
called Kylie Cosmetics because she ain't got nothing to do with the actual product?
No, you can call it whatever you want, but she makes it out like she is the chemist. This is her shit. She designed this flawless bullshit. She didn't do nothing.
I don't think that's.
I think
She didn't do nothing.
I think you're right, but I think what happens is that we conflate the face of or the image of the brand, the face of the brand with the originator or the manufacturer and the maker. I'm not, and you're right. I think that's fuck shit. But is that any different? Hold on. I'll let you jump in. Is that any different than back in the '80s when they started putting athletes on fucking whatever cereal box? You know what I mean?
Did the athlete say, "Look at my Kellogg's Rice Krispie treats. They're mine. I created them."
No, but you know what they said?
No, they were just a face on a box.
No, they didn't say that they made the treat. But what they did say was, "Oh man, before I go and beat these Russians for the U.S. Olympics, better get me a big bowl of Wheaties." As if that's gonna make them jump 10 feet high, you know, or like.
But
like
they
Pat
don't.
Mahomes just had a cereal made.
Yeah.
It was a Pat Mahomes cereal, so it's like it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's like, yo,
But
like,
is he walking around with his name as that manufacturer, like he created that motherfucking cereal?
No.
He's not.
That's
No.
kind of
But I mean, I
advertising
think
and marketing
where
and
she
things
is
for that.
at is a spin-off of where we started with that shit.
no, I feel like
But you
she bought it up like she could buy a factory, like
She-
and now
yeah.
Yeah, but she not-
and
But that's
so
not her shit.
But you can honestly trace that back to like every fucking CEO.
that's
Anywhere.
right. That's
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Walmart.
Yeah,
That's
I
like
you
hate
ever
that.
Yeah.
watch Undercover Boss and they're like going into their own businesses and they don't know what the
Yeah,
fuck
no
they're
clue.
doing because they just call the shots. They just make all the money.
Well, I mean,
They
you
don't
look at it
really do
for-
much
I feel
with the
that's false
actual business.
advertising.
It is. It's absolutely false advertising,
Yeah.
but it's not deemed false in that sense because it's not so bad. And you know, like no one's jumping off a fucking building because they think that this thing is gonna help them. You know, but like back when Jordans first came out, okay, Jordans were the shit, right? And then he hooked up with Spike Lee, and they did the Mars Blackman commercials, and it was gotta be the shoes, gotta be the shoes, gotta be the shoes. From that point forward, it was always I'm gonna be like Mike, right? It was,
Right,
and the whole image, the whole gist of what was portrayed was, yo, if I give me a pair of Jordans, I'm a fucking before the movie, before Calvin Cambridge was ever written, niggas already was trying to be like Mike. It was already set.
Let me give you an example. Let's say myself, I went and decided to mass market whatever pies, okay? You buy the pie and you're eating it and it's good and it's okay. And what if you learn, oh, this isn't your pie? This ain't your recipe?
I wouldn't. What? I mean,
You'd be like, oh, wait a minute, this
I
has
don't-
your name on it.
I don't
This is
think
your
they-
shit. Oh, it's not my shit. I
I
just bought a factory and taking credit for it.
Yeah,
I
I don't
had
think they
nothing to
don't-
fucking
it's
do
not-
with it.
I don't think that anybody's coming to Kylie Jenner thinking that she's the chemist in the
Yeah.
lab. They put the
Right, they
Have
know
you
that she's
concoction
not. They know
together.
she's not.
No, Kim is actually the one that does it.
Yeah.
She's the chemist of it?
No,
No,
but she puts it together.
puts on like she is. Like she created this formula. I created this. No, the fuck you didn't.
Right.
You don't
But,
even wipe your own ass. Don't
Not-
tell me you
yeah,
picked up anything.
and with that shit, that's even just like, I mean, in her estimation, she has, because it's like, okay, like versus doing the one meeting, she's doing 3 meetings
Right.
where she's actually in there, and it's like, no, that's not the right one. Sorry, we're gonna have to come back again. Like, so in her head, she is concocting the formula because it's like, no, that's too much vanilla in there. No, like that, you know. So it's
That
just
don't
like,
work for me.
That doesn't. I mean, it doesn't take away
It's
from
semantics.
the
It's just
inflated
semantics.
sense of self. Because you're right, in a sense of, like, it probably wasn't even her brainchild. Somebody probably
No.
brought it to her, like, oh my God, you pimp cosmetics.
Yeah.
Let's start your own line. You
Well,
know?
that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean
That's what
that's
happens with most
that's
They
I mean.
don't come up with their own ideas.
In all,
They're
in all
fed
honesty, though, and this is just my opinion, that's really no different than, you know what I'm saying, any Kanye coming out with Adidas or his Yeezy line.
That's
or,
different. That's Adidas. That's
No,
Nike. That's whatever.
but I'm saying, it's in that sense, it's not different because they're just throwing the face on it. Now he might actually be a little different because he's crazy enough that he gets in there with the designs. But most of these people that are spokespersons, they don't.
I know.
fucking
She's not a spokesperson. That's
Right?
it.
She's the
not.
face. She's no different.
She is. She's
Her
the
difference
only.
between
She's
the
not just
only
face.
difference is that she's more than a spokesperson. She's also the owner. You know what I mean?
because like I just feel like, I mean, there's a lot of makeup, like the owner of MAC.
Yeah.
Like, who's that?
Oh.
Does it
Probably a
is it
man,
a
probably a
dude?
white
Right?
man.
Is it a
Yeah,
dude?
yeah.
Does he wear
Only-
makeup?
Right.
Like, yeah,
right,
does
right.
he like? So it's
You know,
like
that-
it's
you
one of
know-
those things where like, yo, they just kind of would rather play to the you know, to the
To the
fame,
demographic,
yeah, to the
yeah.
I
demographic,
get
and
it,
sit there
but
and be
it's
like, yo,
fake, it's
Kinda
a
like a
lie,
bunch of
and
gynecologist.
it irritates my
You don't
soul.
know what the fuck going on.
Yeah, that's
What
wild.
are you doing?
that's just.
I don't like that. I think it makes me extremely uncomfortable. But
I mean,
please,
down to fucking Lil Debbie, like, you know, like everything
Betty
is.
Crocker.
No.
Right, Betty
No,
Yeah, Betty Crocker, that's what I meant.
No.
That's what I
That's
meant.
different. Betty Crocker, even though a man, did those recipes.
Okay.
He created the very original recipes were his. So same way with Nestle cookies, the chocolate chip cookies.
But he put a face in front of it to
He
make
knew
it.
it wouldn't sell as a man, so he
So-
gave himself a
Okay,
fig on it.
so
But
maybe
he's
that's
original.
happening with the.
He was in there. That's his shit.
But maybe that's happening with the
So-
Kim K stuff. Maybe there's a scientist that's sitting here like, yo, I got this perfect formula. I know it's gonna work, but I know that I'm not gonna be able to sell it. But you
Here's
know
a-
who can?
Yo,
My friend Kim Kardashian.
I was just about to say, you know what? This goes back to like our conversation about talents, right? Where, okay, for you, and I think your position comes from someone that can create.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Like, 'cause
Is
I
that what it
definitely,
is?
'cause
I
I
feel
I'm
know
being
that.
one-sided because
well, no, I'm not gonna call it
creative.
one-sided. It's just you have, because you are able to create. By the way, she's a hell of a baker, hell of a chef, hell of a cook. We don't do personal shits, but she could definitely provide you everything you need, and we do budget services. But no. But no, I mean, because you can create though, you have a certain level of ownership.
Expectation.
Not even expectation. You have a certain level of commitment to the craft.
Right.
So you're you know, I'm gonna pick on Damo. Like, he raps, right? So
So I'll talk about
It's-
Cardi.
yeah,
Cardi
if
B.
somebody
blame you.
doesn't come in that level,
Don't
it's gonna be
stand
like, ah, you full of shit, you bullshit. You know what I mean? So that's how you look at it. It's already like, you don't even, like, bitch, you
I'm not
can't
on
even
that fuck
fucking,
shit. They're a bunch of fuck
So
shits.
that's how you look
That's
at
how
it.
I feel about every time they come out with something new. And it's like when something new is popping, the Kardashians are always there to like take on their own fucking
But
form
you know
of
what?
it.
Okay, but me and Mom were having this conversation. Me and Miss Kim and I were having this conversation about how, you know, some people, like different talents, right? And so I don't have a talent to create necessarily. I can't bake a fucking thing. I can't. The only thing I can create is
Can I make
Lego.
some good ass tilapia though, right? On those on the
Man-made.
fly dinner nights,
You
mom's
know,
gone.
but-
Just throw it in the oven.
But see, at the same time, though, you create and I sell. So there, to his point, there probably was a chemist somewhere who was like, "Yo, I got this dope ass idea for a
Bump
product."
does that all the time. He's like,
you know-
oh my gosh, you could do this. I got an idea.
Yep.
Like I have the
I-
idea.
you know
I
what?
can
And
do
that's
it,
how
but
that
you
happens.
could do
I
it.
get it.
He
I
does
totally
it
get it.
every day.
I know. Every day.
Every day it's like,
Hey,
dude,
babe.
I draw and
Oh,
stuff.
Yes,
fuck,
dear.
what do I gotta do now to make you $1 million? What do you want me to do today?
That's what it is. What do you
Yeah.
want me to do to make you a stay-at-home husband?
Hey, hey, blame Scrooge McDuck. That motherfucker
Oh, yeah.
said, he said, work smarter, not harder.
Facts, though.
I've been
Yeah.
on that ever since.
All right, that's my rant for today, and that's only because Jade had me go through Ulta and
Made you feel away. We could use
number
Number 3.
Two.
1.
2.
I'm not doing it.
I'm sorry, I dominated this conversation.
No,
I
it's
apologize.
it's a free for all, so it doesn't matter. There's no
Well, that's really
domination.
funny about Ulta though, is like they have like on both, like they have two sides of the store. Like one side is like the cheap ass Walmart makeup, and then over here you get like Kim face Kylie Kardashian.
Yeah, so
Yes.
they already got you
It's like,
divided.
yeah,
Oh,
they,
they
do.
do.
And I go straight over
Totally.
here
Broke
because I
boys
know I'm
over
going for
here.
the $7 mascara, not the $24 mascara. It does the same thing. I'm gonna
That's
go over
fucked
here.
up. Cause like
Yeah.
for real, like from a dude perspective,
They just
like,
have Broke Boy by
Like,
Playboy
over here.
Cardi playing on that side. Of the Broke Boy.
no, but what's fucked up though from a
You
dude
just pick it out
perspective, like if you try to surprise your girl with some shit from let's say Ulta, and you go the wrong side, she's gonna know, oh, you went to the broke section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's
You know
like,
what I mean?
man, I
Like-
think you're more over here.
Yeah.
You have like what you have
Said,
on the east side of the
oh.
stores.
I was
so-
like, babe,
You said you
forget
had
your wallet?
$15 to
Yeah.
spend.
What is this?
Right.
What is this? What is this Milani palette? What is this Milani palette?
Fuck around. I'll bring the wrong thing. Miss Kim be like, oh, you could have just, babe, I could have just gave you my points. I could have got something bigger.
Could have got some points.
Look at all this great stuff, all this Wet and Wild package.
And this shit be like, fucking like a
Yes.
quart, like barely.
you
Carol
spent
Baskin mascara?
$2,000 last
Carol
week.
Baskin
Yeah.
mascara.
I'm trying to
Right.
get in on
Two splashes and it's done.
That's
But for real, what's up with the fucking samples, man? Like, why are the samples so whack? Like, What am I supposed to do with that? I
Right.
definitely one day maybe.
You know,
One
that's
day.
another pet peeve
What
I
the
have.
fuck?
If you want me to try your product, you know before you give it to me, it's gonna take more than one day for
Right.
me to like it or dislike it.
Mhm.
Why are you insulting me with a half a day's worth of shit?
Right.
Right.
So
You
can
spent
actually
$20,000 in the last 2 weeks. Here, take this little tube of mascara. You're not gonna try.
Yeah.
Congratulations with that.
The
Easy
point
points.
system at like Sephora is ridiculous because I got this little sample bottle about this big, and technically, if you go by points and how much you had to redeem to get that little bottle,
Right,
it was
that's what I'm saying.
$250.
That's what I'm saying. You spent $20,000 the last 2 weeks. Like,
Right.
here's your little ass sample. Stop asking for shit.
Take this as a gift from us.
Right.
Take your gift card that is
As
for
a
$5
gift.
that only works on Saturdays.
Yes.
It only
Between
works on
one
the
and
east
two.
side of the
Target.
store.
Between 1 and 2.
You only have $5. You go on the east side.
You go on this side of the
You go,
store,
yeah,
honey.
you want to use
not
that card,
this
you go
side.
over there.
I know
On
You don't get a
these-
discount
on
on
these
the
5 products. That's
Yeah.
it.
You don't get it. You don't
That's
get a
literally
discount
how
on the
we-
Carol
yeah.
Baskin. Sorry.
Who's on Dancing with the Stars?
You gotta
by
be
the
on
way?
the cool, you gotta be part
Was
of the
she
cool
really? I thought
kittens
that was
club to
fake.
get the
No, it's
fucking
me.
Carol Baskins discount.
You know what? They really made that.
Thrax,
mistake.
you said you had a question?
Yeah, it kind of just came to me now. What if makeup no longer got made in this world? How would that make you
It'd
women
be rough
feel?
on you guys. It would be really rough on you guys.
I mean, I don't feel like I'd be
Visually, you
affected
guys
too
would
much.
be.
I don't
Yeah,
really
it'd be
wear
trouble.
makeup, so it doesn't really.
That's my question
affect-
because you don't ever wear it. You wear it.
We
Number
would have
two,
bitches doing
religiously
shit in
wears it.
prison, like they
She's
would be
semi,
making
so I'm
eyeliner
saying,
out
you
of
got
dog
jobs.
shit.
Yes.
Make sure
We would be
shit.
smashing berries
Yes.
and crushing leaves
Literally,
to get the
yeah.
right
Would be
hue.
doing,
That's
yeah.
real shit.
That's back in.
I mean, that's how it started.
Because
Yeah,
that's exactly how it
prison,
started.
like,
Yeah.
when you're in
It always
prison,
like
you don't
that.
have
Why not?
access to
Why not
makeup.
just go without it?
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
you've
easier
seen
said
me.
from a guy,
I
but
mean,
from a
naturally.
girl, it's like.
I think
Right, because even as from a
So-
guy's perspective, like
Yeah.
there's times where it's like, nigga, you. All right, like say that all right, so there's like say tattoos was no longer a thing.
Cool.
Right, like, and you have to get all your tattoos removed or some crazy shit like that. You wouldn't put fucking like if you could just draw like some type of like inky shit on your arm,
Shit, niggas
but
was
that
going-
it wasn't a tattoo. You wouldn't do that
Get
shit.
that
Like,
shit carved in.
right, exactly. Like that's what I'm saying. Like
You know
berries and shit all over your arms. Like yo, like
Yeah,
yeah.
Have
They
a
would
very
be doing like the
great
chicken.
segue question to Thrax's question because he's like all natural and what if they didn't make it anymore? What if you couldn't get fake titties and ass?
That's fine.
Is that fine?
That's fine.
What if
Do you-
all the
I
asses went
appreciate.
flat?
I appreciate those.
Nah, the real question
And
is
the
what if
titties
there's no
went
more
south?
GMO in food, because then you'd really be fucked.
That's
There's
true.
no thing.
Capitalism would be no more.
You'd be like, yo,
It's
where's
just
the?
like-
So there's an ass every once in a while. But
I never.
So you
I never.
Those
I'm
GMOs
never
make
against a
people
skinny
ass
chick.
fat.
I've never been against. I'm not against flat and flat. If you know, if I catch you like that, that's cool.
right.
But
Take that dude.
I'm a big dude. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And me with a flat and flat, there's no.
No. Let me
You know
tell
what
you,
I'm saying?
every
There's
big
no-
guy.
I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her.
for her.
Like,
Don't
I'm-
feel bad for her.
Flat back.
First of all, every big guy I've ever known in my entire life has had a little girlfriend or wife. They always do. They always do.
Why do asses matter?
And that's
They
why I
just
asked.
do.
They
because
really
the
don't.
pictures you constantly post are fake asses half the time. But you're
I
all
know.
natural, don't wear makeup. What about?
Yeah,
But-
I was.
But
I-
you're
That's
clearly
gonna be
attracted to silicone.
I'm attracted to both. I don't ever put down a woman for putting plastic in her. But if I ever like saw all natural, I prefer all natural. But I never put down a woman for putting fake and fake. I enjoy them either way. So that's how I
Sure.
am.
So if it went away, you're fine.
Yeah,
I think,
either way.
just me interjecting. I think we're coming at it from his perspective,
Mm-hmm.
and his perspective is the all natural.
Right.
But for me, the reality is, and that's not my perspective. I'm with him. I'm with the all natural. But I think the general populace of men and women, by proxy, osmosis, or whatever,
Right, yeah.
prefer makeup, prefer whatever it is that gives them the edge to look good based off of the standards.
Yep.
So you are an outlier, Thrax, in that you prefer natural. You
Oh,
prefer a woman being beautiful
Yourself.
in
Just
herself,
why
right?
you wake up is how you. That is what.
Well,
I like.
unfortunately though, like that's just not.
I know
that's
it's.
not
I
what
know
we
social
got.
media and all this image has destroyed
Oh
that.
yeah,
unfortunately.
society
And
has
it's
trained
not
women.
getting eye boogers out
You know,
first.
I get like that ass like that right. What you wake up to, bro, that's true. And, like I'm not against makeup. That's
Right.
true beauty in my
Right,
opinion.
right.
That is that is what you're. That's how
That's
you
a
were made.
beautiful thing.
But
That's
see, a
me
lot of-
being
Day,
honest.
You're
Like,
gonna have to love the girl for how she looks naturally.
absolutely,
I
and that's
mean-
why I feel like it doesn't. If it takes you time to find that one, it takes you time. That's why I believe you should have your standards
Yeah.
and what you like, and if it doesn't have it, it's not for you. That's why.
Yeah.
That's how I'm seeing shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a. You
Just
know
being
what?
honest.
Out of all the things I know about you, that's probably one of the most beautiful parts. Is that you
Then don't
enjoy
ask me.
and respect natural beauty.
Then don't ask me if I'm sick if I ain't got no makeup on, okay?
Hey, them are just questions. Hey, I'm just asking.
Bitch, I ain't got
Say,
no makeup
yikes,
on.
you look tired as
Don't you
hell.
like
Say,
this
I mean, I don't do it all the
For
time.
you.
I do that with
say,
Jade. I ain't
you
gonna
ever
lie.
just have somebody walk up to you and just be like, yo, rough day?
Right?
Like, what?
Yeah,
Nah, actually, I had a
Like,
day.
yo, I'm great. I'm feeling great. I
Hey,
thought
so-
I was pulling this look off.
So if Thrax just like randomly say, hey, let me babysit your kids for like an hour. You know what's going on.
Exactly.
Like, yo.
Exactly.
He's telling you go fix yourself. Is that what that is?
Go get you some rest, sis. Go get some rest.
Drink some tea, take your antibiotics, whatever you gotta do, girl. I'm actually
Go
fine.
get some vitamin D.
Right.
I
Some
feel
fuck.
great.
Hit that
Oh,
morph palette.
yeah.
That actually happened to me one day in school. And they
Now
were
it's
like,
funny.
"Where's he going today?" That's hilarious. Yeah.
So who's next? Who's got
Yeah,
a question or
who's-
thought? What's going on?
You know, I came across this super interesting thing on Reddit the other day. No, it's not in any. It's
No,
not
no, I
in any
know.
rabbit hole.
Reddit itself is
Reddit
a
I
rabbit hole.
take with a grain of salt. You know, I dabble in it very
There's
lightly.
good info on Reddit.
There
Funny
was.
Shit, though.
There was this one that popped up on this line, and it was like, I'm so sick and tired of people feeling like their relationships are their whole entire life. Like, relationships should not be your whole entire life. It should just be another part of your life. You know, you should never ever get way too invested into it, because something like, and that's why like a lot of people go through the heartbreaks that they go through, is because they put anything into their relationship when it's not supposed to be all your life. It's supposed to be a good part of your life. And I really felt that, because I was like, yes. Like, maybe that's just me, but I'm like, that's how I feel. That's just my perspective. That's my opinion.
Now,
It's
you
100%.
You said now people put everything into it.
Yeah.
Even people who put even 50%
Mhm.
still experience that. So
Yeah.
even more or less, if you just invest say a little bit, because you're doing something different.
Well, really, I mean, just like a lot of people, most people nowadays, like that's what they're chasing. Is they're
Right.
constantly chasing like a relationship, and then
Absolutely.
they give
They don't wanna be
everything
alone.
to it. Right? They don't want to be alone. They like companionship. You know, whatever the case may be. But I felt that. I was like, yeah, I feel like that's really how it's supposed to be. You know, and for the people who give everything and do everything for the relationship, that's great too. You know, I'm not dogging that whatsoever. That's you. But for me, I feel like maybe that's how it's meant to be for me, because I have a hard time.
What is meant to be for you?
Like, just having the relationship, like a good part of my life, like not having to. I mean, I'm just one of those people. I don't like to explain myself 110% of the fucking time. Tell you where I'm going, what time I'm going to be back. You know, that's just. You know, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the world market. I'll see you in a few hours. Like, not like when you're gonna be home. Like, where are you at? Who did you see? Who did you talk to? What did you buy? And it's like, oh man.
Right.
Maybe that's just me. I don't really have a good example of like someone like making their relationship their whole life. But I just felt it when they said it should be a good part of their life.
Well,
I don't know. You really kind of do if you think about it. Look at
Like
your
you,
sister.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was trying not to do that.
Yeah.
That's 3. I did
She
it
goes by
earlier.
number 2.
Don't worry, that's 3 times.
Okay.
I'm listening while you're
She
talking.
gives all of it. All of it. I do it. I do it. So maybe that's why you have such a distaste for it. Because you've seen it go on and on and on, and you've seen it crash, and you don't find it a viable resource.
I mean, like,
I
back
don't
then-
know. I don't know if it really has anything to do with like what I've seen and what I've been a part of, and like
Oh,
you
honey,
know, like
you don't.
trauma. I don't think it has much to do with that. I've felt this way for a long time though.
Right.
Like, you know, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, you're consuming my every fucking day life. I don't really like that.
I'm also gonna say I think that's because situationally for you right now, because the other half of this situation,
I'm not trying to make it.
the other half of this
personal,
entanglement,
though. It's a
it
tangle.
hasn't really given you anything or any reason to give all of yourself. And you really look forward to that time away, because the time together is fucking miserable. I really think.
I mean,
not all
yeah,
of
like,
it.
I mean, it might be
No.
easy for you guys to say that because, like, you guys are on the outside looking in.
Right.
Like, well, your relationship's not that great. Like, you probably would like some time alone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, like, I've known myself and I've seen myself and, like, throughout, like, the last 6 years that I've been in and out of them. And it's just, like, I get most of my
6
enjoyment when
years?
I'm not having to explain myself 110% of the fucking time or, like, my time alone. And it might just be because I'm fucking Aquarius and we like our space and we don't like to be, you know, in that.
It's the only time
Maybe
I
that's
give
just
you
me, but
That's, you know.
obviously
that's
it's not just
possible.
me. Someone posted and Nick got a lot of upvotes, so I was like, okay, I'm
No,
not the
it's
only
dead
person.
I think.
I'm
that
trying to see
you're-
if I can find
think
it.
it's valid, but I also think some of yours is traumatic.
Tramada.
Hey, that's my new word. Everybody Google it. It's real. It's real. Might be in the Urban Dictionary.
Yo,
It's real.
I'm so high right. It took me a split second. She said Tramada.
Yeah.
Yo, she
Are you dealing with the after effects of a recent relationship? Are you still having hangovers from a recent rebound?
Do you need to go to a hotel?
Traumatic.
I was like, I took an entanglement, and we met at the Ramada, and that's how we got the Ramada.
It honestly sounds like you were advertising a new drug on the market.
Side effects can be
Side effects include
hangovers,
Depression.
children that you didn't expect,
Credit card bills and an angry wife.
awkward
Yes.
conversations.
What were you gonna say though, Damo?
I don't know. I feel like that part of like what was being talked about before with about relationships and stuff like that. Like it's like a double-edged sword where I feel like there's some people would rather like, and I feel like that there's balance to be had in it, but it's like one of those things where some people would rather it be like a partnership, a team, like to be a team, and to be a team, like you kind of do end up getting consumed in each other's lives a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then I have met other people that, yeah, they would rather be just kind of like, yo, whenever, yeah, we link up, we do the lovey-dovey shit, whatever, and then I'm gonna go and like live my life and do whatever I'm doing, and that's not really none of your concern. And
That's
it's kinda-
called friends with benefits.
Well,
Yeah,
that,
like,
yeah,
that's
so
convenient
That's not a
cheats.
relationship.
I call that convenient shit.
yeah, that's kind
That's
of
my new motto. That's the phase I'm on.
I had
Convenience
a
gesture.
No, convenient
Well, I mean,
cheats.
there's-
That's like
They're
Oh
all
my
they're
God.
all relationships.
Oh
You
my
can't really.
God.
I mean, at the end of the day, the semantics of it still state that they're all relationships. Whether it's convenient cheats,
Yeah, no, it is.
whether it's friends with benefits, whether it's a good or bad, it's still a relationship. I think in terms of, well, one, I'm not going to go, I don't want to directly go after justice, but at the same time, having personal knowledge is like, that's how you feel now, because for the last 6 years, you were very much eager in let's say, open to the idea of relationships, right? And I think people in general throw themselves into things, whether it's the relationship, whether it's not being in a relationship, whether it's the search for cheats, whether it's the avoidance of emotions. People throw themselves into things. So when you have a situation with a person, usually like what you're talking about, where you don't want to have to explain yourself, it's because you expect that over a certain amount of time or experiences with this person, after I've been with you or had these conversations with you for 5-6 times, maybe we have an understanding now. Like, I understand how you are, so you understand how I am. So when I say I'm gonna go to the market for a couple hours, know that this is my routine. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna be home. I don't necessarily need to explain to you what all the minutia is about what I'm doing, because I expect that you understand, trust, and love that I'm gonna go do that and come back home.
Right.
And so when that gets disrupted, that can feel like a slap in the face to your commitment to that relationship. You know what I mean? That would be my take on that. And I think that's what,
That's valid.
I think to wrap up my second point, I think, one, we are trained and programmed to be in a relationship. Whether it's because we by humans need it by nature, or because our society tells us that you're supposed to pair off.
I got a follow up after you.
But I think that's something that we're programmed to do. And then part of that is that because that push to be with somebody happens, you don't ever take the time to figure out yourself or the other person and what it really means for you to be in a relationship, right? What it means for me as Bump to have a relationship with somebody means that I need openness and I need, security and trust or whatever, right? So we jump into these things because we're pushed and programming. We feel this fucking clock telling us we gotta go, and then you're fucking jumping in the next taxi available, and then you sit down and realize this motherfucker's got gum spots and tacky ass fucking interior and.
Our entire lives is based on the social clock that we're trained to abide by. Every fucking aspect. You gotta be you gotta be off the bottle or whatever by 1. You have to be potty trained by 2.
Right.
You need to be ready by kindergarten, by 5 or 6 or whatever.
Have babies before you turn 31, because then your body isn't no good anymore.
It's
Right.
kind of like back in the day where you
Shit,
had
is that
to
male
be
and
married.
female?
Like you came to a certain age and you had to find a husband in order to
I hope not.
make your next
That's
like
a long time.
Right, if you did it,
have
then you were
babies,
like
like,
looked
you have
down
to-
upon.
Yeah,
Like, if you didn't have a wife by a certain age, you were a spinster or some shit.
Exactly.
Or if you're like married for 10 years and never had
Always
any kids,
forget
or
me.
like
And it's like that
What's
now.
going
It's
on?
just
what is
evolved.
going
Yeah.
on? We just don't want any kids.
Well, exactly. Like right now.
Anything that goes against the norm or like what you're supposed to do.
Like if a
It's
couple
totally
is
taboo.
married for 10 years and they don't have kids,
Right.
then they're either somebody's gay
Right.
or they're like fucking weird or something.
And
right?
we're like
What's wrong?
infertile. A lot of people
Infertile, that's what it is.
they're like
Oh, you
infertile.
can't have
Yeah.
And you know what? I want a woman to turn around and be like, oh no, I'm fucking fine. He's throwing the blanks. It's
Or like,
always
no,
the
I
woman.
had a
It is
horrible
always
fucking-
the
The
woman.
woman,
Like
right.
you
But maybe
had like a
people just
hysterectomy
don't want
whenever you
kids.
were.
I hope.
27,
Oh shit,
27
you
years
blame
old,
that?
you know?
Yeah, that's not necessarily a bad thing.
So it's
No,
like
it's a
you
beautiful
can't.
thing,
But
man.
people don't understand.
So let me ask you,
can't
what-
just judge book by its
You
cover.
No,
as
you
someone
cannot.
who's and you too, it's pretty much for you too. What are the benefits of actually being in a fucking long-term relationship? Like what? Like
Please,
I wouldn't even say
please, I would
benefits.
like
Like
to know that.
what does it
Oh.
actually really do towards to help you do better in life? Because because we all have our different experiences. We all know how I feel, how you feel, how you.
Well, no,
are trying
we
to
know
feel.
they don't know.
Okay, well, okay. I
Listeners
say
don't know.
myself personally. I'm not against relationships, but I believe if you're gonna be in one, take your time and really look for what you want. Don't have standards for yourself.
Don't settle.
Don't settle for something. Yeah, it's nothing less than what you really want. Learn from your past. But personally, for me, I don't know. I have such a
You're jaded.
yes. I'm very jaded. I really like I said convenient
No,
cheeks.
you're
Convenient
going-
cheeks.
You're
I
going
just
through your-
want.
What was it called? Tremata.
Tremata.
You
have
The
a little
Tremata
Tremata.
phase.
You have a
Yeah, it's like it's a lot of
Tremata.
Tremata. I honestly, I just
Tremata.
want convenient cheeks where we ain't gotta explain shit. We know what the deal is. Whoop de whoop,
No
and we
You
about
know-
our business. Like this, that shit is
The
what it
benefit
is.
of a long-term relationship is only beneficial if it's a good one. If it's a bad one, then you're wasting your fucking time. They're wasting their time, and you cannot get time back. That is the only thing that you will never get back in your life. You just fucked it. So the only benefit is if it's a good one. Now, for instance, I think one of the benefits is, day before yesterday, I woke up at 3 a.m. with a migraine. Had I been alone, I don't know what I would have done. I really don't. It was bad. It was so bad. Throwing up bad. Oh, fuck, yes.
Wow, you're like straight forward.
Yeah,
You
I'm
should've gone
sorry.
a little far there.
If it wasn't for my husband here, who was willing to get up out of bed, even though he had to work, hold my hair, rub my back, ask me if there's anything he could do, he got me my cold towels, he was trying not to even cough because he knew that hurt me. Truth.
So pretty much not breathe.
And if it wasn't for him helping me, I don't know what I would have done.
Okay, so them moments, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sickness.
think of from our age
Sickness
aspect,
and health.
our age
Yes.
group. What would
Your
be
age
the
group.
benefits of actually being in a relationship then?
So
Nowadays in this generation, if you could put
I would
yourself
say
in our generation right now,
I would say right now in this environment, in this climate, the benefit to being in a long-term relationship. Number one, being married, there's a certain tax.
tax
Plus.
tax
I'm just
Of course,
getting,
you go to the money first.
No, I'm gonna hit everything. I'm
No,
gonna hit,
I
I'm gonna hit
do.
everything.
That's the number
Yeah.
one I've ever
No,
heard.
it's not the
No.
number one. I'm not
No,
saying
it
that's
really
number one.
is.
It's
The
not in
paper,
any order.
the
but-
paper
Like, that's
part
the
of
thing that-
marriage,
yeah.
that's the only benefit.
That's
There's
the
a-
thing that you can get, like everybody, like on
Oh
board
no,
with
that
and
paper shit
understand.
got me fucked.
No,
so
no,
I'm
but
just
because
saying. Let's just say
because
that.
the
Brain
scenario, number one, the law is powerful. Legal or
As much
legality
bullshit as it
is powerful.
Right, it's so bullshit.
And that's why it has to be powerful because it's backed up on bullshit. So,
Yep.
but I'm not making this my order. It's not in order of importance, but I'm just hitting what I think are important pieces. the tax implications are positive for you for marriage. You know, it's not complacency and it's not settling, but there's something to be said for having a sense of comfortableness with your partner.
Yes.
And I'm just gonna be honest, from a sex standpoint, I've had better sex now with someone that I've had a long-term relationship with than someone I've had a one-night stand with. That, you know, I've had a week-long fucking foray doing some wild shit, and that shit don't even fucking top what
Do tell.
I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Hold the lights
Yeah,
on.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, there's a lot to be said with just having a certain level of connection with somebody. And if you're looking at it just from a sex standpoint, then you're not going to get that good sex because you're not going to have that good connection to attain that good sex. Because
I absolutely agree with that.
sometimes it's more than just the physical. There's a passion. There's an energy.
Making love.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what it is.
Even when you're being
Making love.
dirty
and having
bitches.
sex.
Nah.
even when you're being dirty
I'll
and
be
you're not
good.
even
I'll
in
be
that whole
fucking the shit
love
out your mom.
Oh,
Real as fuck. Ain't no motherfucking, ain't no love making. We no fucking moving furniture, goddamn.
Ain't nobody knows better than thrash.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
Nah, but okay,
That's why
but
my volume
but
always
here's
at
the other
60.
part. Let's move past that. Let's move
Oh,
past that.
right underneath them,
fuck.
bro.
There's something to be said.
fuck.
There's something to be
That
said
hurts.
about. There's something to be said about the security of, of having someone and knowing that person and them knowing you, so that you can have that conversation. Like, if I didn't have someone like Miss Kim that could balance me or be the counterpoint to the shit I'll be saying, y'all know me. I'll jump off the fucking wall with another idea every 15 minutes, right? But I have to have someone to be like, yo, that's not cool. Or better yet, I need to have a trusted partner, or that is a benefit of having a long-term relationship. I have a trusted partner that I know how they're gonna move, so when I move, it's complementary to what I need. So I know that, boom, she's good with this, and this. Cool. I know she's locked in. I know she's riding with me. So when I go to make this move, as I'm calculating my plan, I already got my boxes checked because I already know what my partner can do. And I've been with them long enough that I know where they're gonna fall and where they're gonna fucking shine. So that's a benefit. For I'm just being gutter. For a nigga like me that's trying to get it, I need to make sure that my people is ready to go. So that's a benefit for long term because I've had 10 plus years of seeing exactly how they're gonna move. The other part, this is more personal, being a black man, it's definitely easier to have, if I can't be in a steady relationship with someone, then I can almost never be my true self. Because being a black man in this world, I have to be a chameleon. I have to have many faces.
Absolutely.
So coming home, I don't want to lie to the person I'm with. I want to be with that person, right? I got to be this person over here. I got to be this person over there. Because if I'm really myself, the world is going to judge me in a way that I don't need. Because that's going to fuck up my getting it. So the plus to having somebody that really is being with me is the plus that, like, yo, I can take the mask off. I can be goofy. I can talk about dick and fart jokes. I can talk about that crazy ass shit I had last night.
I was just about to
Yeah,
mention that.
you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's to
But that doesn't
me.
mean you have to be married. Like, you can have that.
No,
in, like,
no,
a
I believe
No.
that.
Because
But
I believe in that. I don't want to be married. I believe in a long-term partnership, though.
Right.
Like, if you and I just decide,
No,
this is what we're gonna do.
my
we're gonna
first
do
piece,
this.
the tax part is where marriage comes
That
in.
is the only benefit
Everything
to that
else
piece of
does
paper.
not require marriage.
Nope.
Nothing else requires
Nope.
legality whatsoever. It just requires
Nope.
commitment and the act and service of
Yeah,
fucking love.
I agree with that.
Because it's one of those things where, as much as like the benefit of like long term, like whatever, like partnerships and stuff like that, and not necessarily getting married, it's like, yo, like at the same time, like if y'all have a bad day, like in marriage, if you have a bad day and you decide that you're getting divorced, tomorrow you're gonna have to wake up and actually file those papers.
Yeah.
But like, versus it being like, yo, actually, I can just up and leave today
Right.
and never come fucking back in a long term
You don't
partnership.
have that fucking. I have to stay. I have to go through all of this shit to actually just be a divorce from you and like not have you part of my life.
But you know what though?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a
like
double-edged
it's
reality,
like
though.
It's a double-edged
under
sword.
contract. Like, you can
Yep.
leave whenever you want. You're not stuck in this. Just leave. Just
You could do that that too. Divorce is $300 and sign a few papers.
Yeah, that's not an issue.
Well,
Well,
yours was different.
right.
We don't even talk
Your
about
special
that.
circumstances.
So
That
special,
shit
and there are
costs you a
ton of
life.
special circumstances, a ton.
I feel like that doesn't happen very often though, because the people who do get married, not just for tax purposes or whatever, like they're in it for like their whole lives, and if it does come down to divorce, they're not just signing a fucking paper saying bye. No, they're like, fuck you, I'm gonna draw this out for as long as I can, because every marriage there's only with an exception of one.
Those are unfortunately, those are going to be counted as examples of bad marriages, but in reality, those are examples of bad relationships that should have never gone as long as they did. So the thing about marriage is, to his point, to Damo's point, that, you know, the fact that you make this commitment and the fact that you have all of these pieces to untangle keeps you involved and keeps you tied in, right? And so it's an extra level of commitment to show that person, like, yo, I'm with you.
Right.
But and this is my only but to that. They still have common law marriage. There are people, there are gay people that were together. I mean, the gay community could only be married as of like 2015, and I might be wrong in that year, but it's within the last 10 years. I'm cold, so if I sound like I'm shaking, but the people get together and they be together, and it's difficult to untangle. And this is gonna sound screwy, but fucking brings feelings. That's how I deal with my life. That I'm not sticking my dick in something just arbitrarily because I know, or at least more than once, because I know the more times that you interact, the more that.
Are you saying that's the same person, or are you talking about like if you fucking every time you're gonna catch feelings?
No, I'm saying that. Wait, say that again. Now.
You know, you say if I'm fucking, you're gonna fucking catch his feelings, right? Now you said
more than once.
Yeah, I'm talking about the same person. I'm talking about the same person. You know, I'm just saying, and that's probably a real guttural way to say it. I'm just saying, if you're interacting with that person, the more times you exchange and interact with them, the more entanglement there becomes in that energy. So
doesn't that self-promote just one night stands constantly?
Not necessarily. It depends. I don't know. It depends on someone's perspective.
Because that exchange of energy isn't necessarily.
Some people might want that exchange of energy.
Right.
Whereas some people may not want that exchange of energy. So I'm not promoting it either way. I'm just stating it for what it is.
Right.
That there have been examples of families and cultures and lifestyles where they have been intertwined and entangled without paperwork. Okay. And I mean, let's be honest. We've been together for X amount of years, right? But
13.
we've only been married for 9, right? So even if we had an issue and split up 5 years in where we weren't married, it would have still, by that point, we were still at the trap house, but everybody was still involved with each other. You know, everyone was still moving around. It would have been a lot. I mean, would it have been easier then than now? Yeah. But there would have been a lot of shit to unpack and untangle and disengage. You know what I'm saying? It would have been difficult. So you don't have to be married to have to not feel like you can just walk away. It's all a matter of that get right that people give you. Some people give you that get right that makes you stay no matter what, and some people give you that bullshit that you're like, all right, bro, it's cool, still bag of chips.
Still a bag of fucking fuck.
Let me ask you this: for someone in your position, how do you think? Oh yeah, I didn't know if you're saying that.
Yeah.
How do you see your next future one happening? Since you have 3 young ones, how do you think that's gonna? You know, I guess my 2 parts. Do you think it's gonna be very rough? And what would you expect? I guess not expect, but what are your standards?
I'm 24 with 3 kids. I'm done. I don't have anything else to offer anybody else, and I can't give them what they want because I've given it to other people who didn't deserve it. So I'm not. I have 3 kids. I'm not having anybody else's kids. So I would have to find someone who doesn't want any kids, which also would be shitty because I have 3. So if they don't want any additional children. So I feel like I'm pretty good until I'm like 35. Will probably be my ballpark where I maybe find someone. You know what I mean?
Let them grow.
Yeah, let my kids grow so that way like my baggage is a little less because right now it's like fuck. Maybe by the time I'm 35 I'll have a little less baggage for the next person, but I've been chasing relationships since I was 17 years old, and I'm pretty much done with that. I'm done chasing relationships. It was cool. I just realized that I really just want to do me and be with my kids and do the best that I can and not strive for that shit anymore. But I mean, I felt like that for a while, and I always felt like that's why that Reddit article kind of stuck with me, because that's why I was like, yeah, like I have felt like this in because I've only had 2 serious ones, but in both ones, I've always felt like, you know, I like having my space. I don't like having to answer to anybody. I don't like having to fucking like this consume my life. I don't really know any other way to say it besides I remember whenever I was like 16 years old, I was like, if I ever get married, we're living in separate houses. I always said that. I don't know if you've ever heard me say that, or you have ever.
No,
I told me and my friend Alex, we'd always talk about that. I'd be like, bitch, if I ever get married, we're living in separate houses, because I don't want.
You've always been anti-marriage, though.
I don't want
Most of
to
your
like
life.
be consumed with someone every single day, and it's like that's what pisses me off now.
What's crazy though is that.
Right.
I spend so
don't want
much
to turn
of my.
this into like fucking.
Everybody's like, why
therapist
do you hang
session.
out with your parents all the time? My parents are cool.
Right,
Yeah,
you're fucking cool. You're cool.
My
Yeah.
parents are cool, and I don't want to be in my house, so I'm gonna go to my parents' house.
It was the voice and like the nose just uprise.
Because
Yeah.
everybody,
Yeah.
they want to leave their parents' house about like, I'm leaving, I'm never coming back. Well, I have
Right.
parents, I can go over there and like talk to them
Right.
bullshit and then go home.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, like,
We enjoy that aspect too.
yeah, I know. I know.
I'm just fucking with you, sort of, not really.
Sort of, not really.
My
That's the
stepdad
best
was
thing
gonna
about
come
having
home.
G babies, man. You
I
love
know.
them
What
and
about-
you fuck
what
with them
about
and you
you?
send them home.
What about
I'm
you?
glad you brought that.
Rages.
Corner, what is your
Favorite
opinion on
ranger.
relationships? And damn, what are your expectations? I had
What do
something
you-
better, but I didn't want to go.
What
I
do you want
guess
out of a relationship?
that deep. So
You know, great question, because you've never really,
Yeah,
Been
didn't
in one.
really like have like a solid like, relationship.
never.
Oh, wow. Well,
I mean, says y'all, maybe she might say different.
Well,
we
I
weren't
don't
saying
know.
no one
It's
wanted.
hard to like want something when you like haven't really experienced it. Like you don't. I don't know. I haven't like had a really serious like we're together type of relationship. So it's I don't know.
Do you think you'd be a consumer? Like, you'd consume yourself with that one relationship? Or would you be more like Justice, be like, this is great, this is fun,
I'm
go back
going
to
to
your
my
car, I'll see you later.
I think I would be consumed probably at first. Like if I get that first real thing, I'd probably like consumed as fuck. But that's because I have no kids, and like even like if I'm in a relationship, I would be hoping like to like build something as well, because and like I accept kids. My significant other can have kids. I don't care. Like that's what's up. Obviously, I have nieces and nephews, so it's like.
Yep, that's
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 it.
a
I'm
whole
gonna be honest
different
with you.
game.
Someone who's been in that position, I'm gonna be honest. It's way
Your everyday,
different.
it's
It's
all day,
something
every
that
day.
No,
you gotta
yes.
adjust to, and it.
That every day is a
That
motherfucker.
shit
no
is
clocking out.
something. No, there's not. It's 24/7.
That's what I'm saying. Like I
That
don't,
shit.
I haven't like experienced, it,
Right.
so I don't really have anything.
But you're willing to
that
try it out.
Yeah, like I'm really just open to whatever really happens. I just go with the wind. Take
Perfect.
it day by day with me.
All right, that was beautiful. That's 2 beautiful topics now, or maybe 3. I've lost count.
What
Yeah,
kind of
that's
topics
free,
or
I think.
shots?
Right, like take another shot, Mom.
No. I'm keeping that on the very.
Dave, you have anything on your mind? Come up with a topic. What do you got? No pressure. Or
We
anything.
just skipped over Rager too. She just,
Do you have a topic, Ranger?
What are we calling? What are we calling?
Pager Ranger?
I'll call her corner. I was like, yo, corner.
hey, back in the day,
I wasn't gonna lie to you.
at the
Like,
Yellow House page, you see like fucking like even before at the Trap House, like we'd all be talking and shit, and she like just stick her hand up like,
I would.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, "Alright, little white girl in the corner."
Yeah. You've always been the white girl in the corner.
No, I've never been like comfortable speaking up like
You would
that.
wait
I don't
all
know
dinner
why.
time to ass pump. Did you talk to any dykes today?
Hella.
I would. I've asked him that a few times.
Let me hide my broccoli and my mashed potato. Talk to any dykes today.
Because nobody's watching me right now.
Right.
Oh,
I'm
man.
broccoli in my napkin.
The napkin
Nobody likes
trick was the
broccoli on my
shit.
food.
Oh
The
my
napkin
No,
trick.
shove it in. And
So no
You guys-
topic. That's okay. Think about it next time.
No, I'm gonna still ponder on it.
Okay.
I'm thinking of a
Damo
topic.
Phillip.
Yeah. had a couple bars, but I'm not gonna even. It's cool. So I'm thinking of like a question to ask or something, a topic to talk about.
No pressure.
You
if you don't have
motherfuckers.
anything.
I mean,
I'm sure your twin will make up for it.
The twin. Y'all are crazy with that one.
Like all I can think about is like sports shit and fucking music shit. So I'm like,
You have a one track.
oh my god. Anybody else?
Bob Jonas.
Heard Tory Lanez has been charged.
Yeah.
Let's jump into that.
Fucking
Hey, if
fine.
you want to talk about this,
Let's jump into that.
I don't even dabble too much into that, but all I've seen so far is like how he was talking about Breonna Taylor, and I'm like, motherfucker,
He
you
didn't.
shot a black woman in the foot, and you're asking for justice for him? Justice for your fucking self? Like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Is that just me?
No, I mean, that is not an invalid point. It's a good point.
If
you-
he shot her, then it's about it.
Do you guys not think he did?
I don't know, and
We
so
need
I'm not.
Kylie Jenner to speak up because that white bitch was there.
Yeah.
She was there. She was there.
Didn't that start the problem?
Good job,
Wasn't he
man,
trying
with
to?
the hot take.
Wasn't he trying to play with the little man in the
She
boat
wasn't
with
in
Kylie
the
and the
I don't
Megan
know.
got
Who
him?
knows?
He probably does have like the
Who knows?
It was a
Napoleon
part. Yeah,
syndrome.
it was
See,
like
that's-
a party.
that's-
It was a Kylie Jenner party, and then Tori was trying to push up on Kylie, even though like him and Meg have a
That's
thing.
right.
Meg might have got a little bit spicy about that, so they kind of got either kicked from the party or she left the party. Whatever. They end up leaving the party. An altercation happens in the car. Also because Meg's best friend realizes because Meg's best friend was fucking with Tori before Meg was.
So
But
it's
she
large
ended
entanglement.
up having to like get tucked away because of the coronavirus. She had to be tucked away for 2 weeks, and not 2 weeks. Meg and Tori really started rocking heavy, and now all of a sudden that was her big way of finding out. So there was a big explosion in the car. That's why it's kind of blurry as to what exactly happened in the fucking car, because it's
How
like
do you know this?
there's a lot
Listen.
of fucking like I'm a hip hop.
So basically,
He
you
said,
were there.
yeah, kind of like that.
It kinda sounds like you were there.
Yeah, it's like I enjoyed it.
You astro projected.
Astro projected.
That's what it was.
You're like, hang on,
No,
are they Tory's in trouble?
You just pick up on all the
Yeah.
like information that's being put out, and then that's just the information that's been put out. Like that's not me trying to insinuate or think of, like that's literally stuff that's been kind of documented to the point where it's like, all right, step by step, this is what it is.
They don't know shit.
Yeah,
I mean, they give you the cursory level, but a
Yeah.
lot of it is. I mean, the shade room throws it up there, and then everyone else starts running with it. And
Yeah,
then it
because-
So
starts
really, he
becoming a narrative.
knew though. He knew what happened, whether he did it or not. He knew.
But she knew too.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You know,
don't leave
they
her
both
out.
knew.
She's
like
on some fuck shit.
she didn't tell the police whenever.
That's kind of my thing with all of this is
See that?
there's always more than one side, right?
Right,
And then
sure.
and the way it comes off like, oh shit, they were involved in a shooting incident where guns were off in the air type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then it becomes she got shot in the foot. And from right then and there, all of a sudden, it was just straight jokes, right? And it was Tori did it, Tori did it, Tori did it. Then it was, and she never said nothing. Other than she made a couple of things about, hey, y'all don't even know what's up, kind of
Yeah,
right?
like I got shot, like with
Right.
malicious intent, but
But
she
didn't
did.
she come out
still
with a
didn't
video
say.
saying that Tori
Yeah,
did?
Right,
Yeah,
but
but
that,
there's
but
a
then,
timeline, though.
but so
There's a
that, and
timeline.
so that's my thing was like she's like basically like, yo, you don't know what's up, chill, leave it alone, right? And then it becomes, and this is just from my perspective, it goes from Tori did it to it just becomes these bad Meg the Man jokes all of a sudden,
I
right?
don't see how that.
I
that's
just
your
saw
foot
that
to
coming,
like,
but I don't know. But it
that
was
wasn't that. It
Is she
was not
manly
a.
looking?
no, I
That
don't
was not
know.
a major
No,
play in
it
this
just
motherfucker.
maybe it's not, and
At
maybe
all.
it just was for
That
me.
was
but
not the.
all I know
trajectory.
was all of a sudden
It went from
the storyline-
she wasn't telling the story necessarily. She was saying, oh, I got shot, but she's not saying who. So now everybody's like, well, shit, she ain't say Tori, so yeah,
Right.
Tori cool, Terry cool. And then
And
they was
then
like,
all
and then
of a
they was like,
sudden-
yeah, shoot, and then she comes on live and she's like,
Tori shot me.
nah, Tori, you shot me.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
from
she's
that
literally-
point,
she's
from right
Just
there,
reacting
it was
to whatever
like,
the internet is like, literally like,
Right.
yo, the Tory Lanez and Meg Thee Stallion,
This
the new
is-
Bonnie and Clyde.
it's
No,
damage
I
control.
got shot with
It's-
malicious intent.
right.
Even though I'm not gonna say who did it, And then it's like, oh well, it wasn't Tory then,
But
and it's like,
I'm not a
no,
snitch.
it was Tory.
I'm not a snitch.
Like,
I'm from Southside. Like,
it's just
no.
a bunch of like, yo, I'm
This
just
is some
reacting to the
toxic
internet,
shit.
and it's
This
just
is
like,
a ratchet female. This is a ratchet dude. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's
Yeah.
just
Love
what
and
it is.
hip-hop type shit. They
Oh,
should-
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, and so
Exactly.
nobody wants to lose face.
When
It's-
did you become transgendered?
No, that was no. She's not.
see, like how
She's
you,
not.
like,
But I'm
you
just
see how
saying.
you got
Okay,
her
my bad.
sprung in?
I'm
Like,
just
what
saying
is
though,
this?
like
I'm
when-
just curious of how it swayed from
when-
that
when-
to
like
she's a dude.
there's always
No, that's
been,
always been. But when the popular opinion started
remember
to
the
sway.
strong knees thing?
Oh my god, yes,
Yeah,
okay.
When the popular opinion started to sway
Yeah.
away from her, is when she then said, "Yo, I'm not a snitch. Tory shot me." Like,
You just fucking snitched.
right? What the fuck? What we talking about here? So, and then the whole time,
That's what I do.
and I've said this before, and it's gonna sound
She's a citizen.
no.
She's a citizen.
Okay.
She's just
No,
a-
no, no.
College.
I mean,
She
yeah,
go to college,
she ain't in the
bro.
street
Like,
shit,
it-
but
yeah,
but,
like
but
she be
she
in
got
college.
you
and
can't
shit.
you can't
Like, what the fuck?
you can't be
She's
straight.
like
working and
left-handed.
reading her fucking college
I
books.
I mean,
know.
she
man. Like,
says
come
that,
on.
but then she be out here on
No,
that
there's
shit
a
talking
video
like
of her
she's
twerking
hustling,
and reading
bro.
the college book. Like,
Nah, man. I feel like you can't. She feel like street adjacent, but at the
was just
same
on her
time,
feed.
man, I just feel like the way that it was being played out, or the way that it's being played out, was her just saving face, which tells me that there's more to that story than just the nigga shot me. Because if it were that simple, it would have been that simple. And why is it they didn't charge him until after he dropped that dope ass album? I'm just
I
gonna.
still feel like it's
That album was
really-
fire.
I'm just
It was
saying.
You
fire.
know, you
It's a
have to
contradiction to
investigate
try
and get your
trying.
warrant stuff. in
Right,
order,
Yeah,
but,
you know.
but I mean, Tory's not a
Takes time.
dumbass.
Yeah,
He's not a
but-
dumbass. He's
but at
got
the same
lawyers,
time-
so his people would have been told him like, keep your mouth
They
shut.
probably did.
And he
Also-
even said that, didn't
Yeah,
he?
yeah, and like
Most of the time,
that was
that's why
that was
we're
my
not
main
speaking.
thing. Whenever he dropped the music, I felt like that was his. Like honestly, I felt like either he's clean or he's a fucking evil. He's a fucking supervillain.
Right.
Like he's the worst type of person. And like yo, like
There's not
like,
much in
there's-
between there.
There's either he's like galvanizing in one way or another, but it's just like one of those things where I don't know. You have to realize that there is a process that has to be done, but also she's got blood in her foot. Oh, she goes to the hospital. She's the only person that was in the car that didn't get arrested. So when they go to the hospital and take whatever out of her foot, they say it was shrapnel. Like they don't say oh shit, this is a bullet fragment. Police, like no, they say no, that might be glass or some shit. I don't know, like shrapnel.
And you look at the charges.
and throw it away. Like so, it's just one of those things where I
I
don't know.
could be mistaken, but if I look at the charges, there's number one. Pager made a good point that he's looking at 22 years, and it's like he didn't even murder nobody, and it's not even attempted murder.
Is it assault with a deadly weapon?
Right, but so it's assault with a deadly weapon. It's basically all of the pieces that they would normally hit you with.
Yeah.
For just having if they catch you with a gun and the gun goes off. So there's not because it would be attempted murder. Well, if it's
No.
above the waist, it would have been worse than that. Yeah. So I don't know, but all I know is that none of it sounds like no real fucking charges to where it stacks up to 22 years.
It is.
Well,
And
if he's
niggas-
got more
it
than
is.
one, now
Shoot
that's
the
how.
kneecaps.
This is how they do
Yeah,
it.
below the kneecaps. is
They
self-defense.
always post the maximum
So you know.
sentence allowed per charge. That's what the
Yeah,
22
that's
come up
what-
with.
Yeah,
Then
'cause
you
I was
can
about
go
to
to
say,
that's
12
true.
months.
It's
But it's like-
They
it's
always
like
inflate it.
motherfuckers have murdered people and
Yeah,
utilized
like
people and they don't
yeah.
get 22 years. So
Yeah,
it's like,
Right, they
like,
always
You could
they say,
snatch
like,
a
the
kid
max.
and do some terrible,
And
terrible
get less
shit
than
and get
5.
5 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fuck
Yeah,
shit.
it's fucking ridiculous.
That
It's
is
all
fuck
about the
shit.
trial, isn't it? Like how it goes in the
No.
trial.
Well, that's what they say.
It's
but
all
I don't
about the
believe
lawyers
that.
and the evidence
It
and the
is.
money.
It's about the slide of the money because
Yeah.
you could pay off a judge in a hot fucking minute. You could pay anybody off.
Yeah.
and the
Anybody.
political
If
If
aspect.
Tory
of it.
Lanez- paying
Lanez
me
gets
to
the
fuck
dude who
off
got
right
Casey
now.
Anthony
You
off,
gotta
he's
have
free now.
Allegedly.
you gotta have a
Shit.
product that's gonna help
Hey,
somebody.
I'm just saying, they can pay me fuck off.
Well,
every
Tory
day.
would be
Hey,
fucked
y'all
right now in the
It
climate.
don't matter.
This
It
is
would
probably
whatever
worse than the
situation-
Me Too
hey, bro,
moment.
whatever you need.
You know,
Let me get
if
that.
he really is, well, if he really is guilty of that, then that's fucking dumb. You know what I mean? But if he gets taxed on this, it'll be taxed in the climate of coming after Breonna Taylor. It'll come in a climate of, the tail ends of Me Too and protect black women, which 100% for. I don't
Man,
want
if he
this
go-
man to
if-
get notched down for
If he
it.
going to jail, like if he did it, he's going to
Well, that's
jail.
different,
He's
yeah.
gone
But if
regardless.
he's not going
But
to,
so
if he didn't do it,
so if he doesn't go to jail, then he didn't do it. Then
I
it's,
feel like
it's like, yo,
my worry
then at that point, that's whenever you gonna see the flip. You gonna see,
Right.
oh, he gonna be able to drop merch the day
Right,
he gets
right.
the innocent
Right,
bid,
right.
and he
She
goes
probably
crazy.
shot herself.
He a sin.
That's what I
for
said.
real, I think what I think happened was kind of to his story or to what the scenario is said to be. I bet either he let off shots to calm the fuck down,
Oh yeah.
maybe, or someone else had that motherfucking thing and he went to you're like yo chill, and the thing went off and pow, shot my
Or
pinky
she
toe.
did it herself
really
because when
planned
people
out.
shoot themselves for malicious intent,
Area.
they go for the
That's-
foot,
Oh.
they go for the arm.
That's
do-
a lot. I
No,
don't
it's
think-
not. It happens all the time.
No, I'm not saying that.
They
I'm
They,
used
they
to do
do
it in
that.
the military.
She gets jealous.
What?
They used
She
to-
has
you know
a
that?
jealous thing.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
People used to
That's-
shoot themselves in the foot in the military
To turn.
to get the fuck out. It would be med step, like in a battlefield. It was like a common tactic people would do.
It's always
Yeah.
it's always
Maybe for
minder.
Yeah.
It's
Shit.
Well, that's
Shit.
not-
Yeah, you shoot your foot,
Cover
you're
it for
automatically
someone.
med step, you get paid for it,
Yeah.
you're an honorable, so
Yo.
yeah, you go home.
You call me pussy or call me pretty. I ain't shooting. I ain't hurt nothing on me on
Bro, like,
purpose.
you don't
Tell me,
need your
it's like
small
the most
toe.
random
You can shoot your
thing.
small
I need
toe.
all of
Tell
them.
me you don't
No,
see a
Doesn't
woman
that knock off your
in a
equal-
jealous
equal-
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
because he
Yeah.
dated the
You do gotta
girlfriend. He
relearn,
was
but
hitting on
you can
Kylie.
still
Da,
go
da,
with
da, da.
that.
She's
But
like,
I'm just saying, bro.
jealous rage. I'll show you.
I mean, yeah, I can see that, but I don't see that.
Yeah,
Because there's
especially
money to be. She
Yeah,
ain't
You
gonna
don't
fuck
watch
with
enough
me.
right, yeah,
documentaries
yeah.
then.
No,
She's a
Victoria
dancer
Lucky.
and all this.
Yeah.
She got lucky as fuck that there's no ligaments, tendons, or anything. If
Right,
if
yeah.
it was a full,
Exactly.
that's the thing.
No.
Is if it was
Exactly.
an actual shot to the,
Exactly
so
my
it's like,
point.
yo, there was shrapnel found in your foot. Okay, so it ricocheted off of something. Maybe it broke apart, fell, pinged into your shit, or something off of the door.
Someone tried to
the-
shoot her. Tori was like, "No,
the-
boom!" And then
it hits the
ricocheted
door.
and hit her foot.
The door.
Case solved.
The
I
door
should be
goes
the lawyer.
goes
Hire
crazy,
me.
flings into her
50,000
foot.
an hour.
Like who knows? Like I
Let's
don't
call
know.
Nancy Grace.
But we don't even know. We don't even know that it was him that busted off. You know what I mean?
I
It's
know,
just that
I
the
know.
gun is his, so he's gonna take that
Oh, the
heat.
gun.
Yeah, those got the munchies.
Okay. After project to the scene.
Dead ass. I'm hungry, man. Shit.
Keep us informed, Damo. Up to date on all Tory Lanez related
Yeah.
trial coverage.
Oh, I got a question. Who's
Make
gonna
the
who's gonna be the
man
next 4
transgender.
years of our
Innocent
president?
until
Oh,
proven
my
guilty.
fucking
Who's
God.
winning? Trump or Biden?
Oh my
True.
god.
I guess touch
I would
on
be
it.
happy if both of them were on a cruise ship
No,
together
Biden
that
had those
never
fly
came back.
swatters. He probably got
Absolutely.
a lot of people with those fly swatters, man.
Oh, speaking of that,
But
And
did
what's
you
your
find
opinion on
one?
climate control?
did I find a
Or,
fly?
the,
Biden
uh,
one.
A
the,
Fly
um,
swatter.
Climate
Oh, I already
change.
had
Yeah.
one.
I'm talking about the Biden one.
I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know
watched
there
some
was a Biden
videos,
fly
He
bro,
took
and
the
it's
opportunity
kinda
to make fly swatters.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Whenever what's his fuck had a fly on his head.
Now,
Absolutely.
here's my twist on that.
Okay, go for it.
Ecosystem.
Flies are, well, it's said that flies are attracted to death, to demonic things, because demons are able to control insects, flies being
My
number
flies
one.
land on my fucking head all the time.
I know, but listen, hear me out.
That is a landing strip.
Lilith.
Right.
Continue.
You know, that, it didn't move. It stayed with him. It's like they were buddies and shit. I got you, you got me. I'll see you
mean-
through this, Pence. I'll stick here right by your side as close as I can get to your fucking little brain.
I
So
mean,
either
everybody
he's
takes
dead or
like
he's
the
a
littlest things.
That's
and
what I mean.
runs
He's a
with it.
terrible human being. Pence is a terrible human being.
I don't
He
know much
believes
about
in
him.
gay conversion camps.
Oh, what?
That's
Yes.
crazy.
I didn't
Yes.
know that.
Yes.
That's terrible.
He believes
That
in
is-
gay
that's
conversion
crazy.
He said, "Go Pence." Like, oh my God,
There
relax.
is definitely something in the works though, because it is
My
going
God.
too much like a fucking conspiracy theory right now, and it's almost like you guys are like really fucking with our intelligence right now. With the whole like Trump getting
Kidding about the
COVID
fly
and then like
thing,
not
okay.
wanting to do the virtual debates, it's like drawing
an
it out.
idiot.
It's like, why are you drawing it out? Like, what do you guys got going on here?
And then
Like,
trying
does
to
nobody
leverage
feel like that
money
though?
over the American people's
Like,
head?
how fucking
Sons of bitches.
convenient.
He said,
Like,
"No
how much worse
relief
can this
check
year
until
be?
we
Like,
vote
at
for this
point,
nigga."
it's just like,
I feel that 2020 was
Where's
an
my vote card?"
excellent year. Had Trump's mother just swallowed.
It's just too much convenience for 1 year.
She
It's
got
like, y'all
three
saw
shots
what's
in.
be
It's about
going
to get
on.
raunchy.
I'm about to shoot somebody's foot right now. I'm pissed.
Number 7.
I mean,
Number two people, right here.
I mean, I don't think it's. I don't think there's a conspiracy in that sense.
It's
I think.
too much convenience for 1 year.
I think
Way
I
too
think
much
what it
convenience.
is just that
niggas behind the curtain.
you're not dumb,
Touche.
and he
Lots
thinks
of
he and most of the political system think that the general John Q, Jane Q American is dumb, and unfortunately, they're not dumb. They're misinformed.
Small-minded is
You-
what
it's not
Obama
even-
called us. Just saying. He did call us small-minded.
Damn,
He
you
did.
called yourself small-minded. Okay.
Obama called us self.
Who is us? Who is he saying
Well,
us?
anybody
We,
that
as
voted
society,
for
we
Trump,
are
I think
people, we're
Obama proved
small-minded
it.
I mean, yeah.
He said it.
It's been proven.
You know what?
I saw the
And
video.
to be honest, though, he
Okay.
didn't really have to say it. What he said was more of an observation of what America was doing. Like, because for the 8 years of Obama, it was a whole lot of monkey videos and just bad. It was the ugliness of America.
His wife
came
was
out.
a man.
Yeah, the ugly. Yeah, you know. So, yeah, I mean, America proved to Obama that they were small-minded. But I mean, most
Where's your
of us already knew that.
He
Yeah.
was working behind the scenes though, so he
Well,
knew
yeah.
what they could do, that what we would allow, and like what would go right
That
over our
doesn't-
fucking heads, and be like, oh, you guys are so small-minded.
Okay.
Like we just took all your fucking rights away. And you guys are still trying to shop at Ulta and worry about Kylie Jenner's fucking makeup line.
That's right. I mean,
Actually, Kim Kardashian's, and I wasn't worried.
You're mixing two different things.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You're saying you're saying that like he called America small-minded, but
All
they
these people small-minded.
but they proved to him that they were
Yes,
small-minded.
I agree with that.
And I'm not. And,
Yes.
But so at
That's the same thing.
but
as,
that is completely separate from what you said of him doing things behind the scenes. Yes, he did because he was a politician. That's what politicians do. They do dirt behind the scenes. That is how the system is set up.
Yep.
I voted for Obama because he was a black man, because I'm a black man, but I will, as a black man, be the first to say that he did some dumb shit. He bombed black countries. He fucking him and Hillary Clinton created goddamn slavery again in places like Libya. So I'm not gonna say, oh, he's fucking this or that, but that does not change the fact that whatever racism and ugliness and anger that was underlying in America this whole fucking time did not start to show itself that much more when Obama came to power.
I'm not
That
talking about that.
well, no, but that is the small-minded part. That's what he's talking about when he says America is small-minded.
Did I send you that video? I'm pretty sure I sent you that video.
I don't
I
know.
did.
But that
Yeah,
would
I
be
sent you
that
on
would
Instagram.
that would be his
That's
reference.
what he was saying though, was that the American society or the American people are so small-minded that we could do this, or this, and nobody would blink twice.
That's
Yeah.
That's what was in
Yeah.
the video.
Yeah.
Right?
That's true.
I know.
Yeah.
And
that's
that's
my whole argument.
and that's
was
the
like,
thing
The
with
fact that he says that shit really pisses me off because it's like, what do I gotta do to not be a dumbass? Like, what do I gotta do to know what the fuck you're doing so I can stick up for me and like all my people?
So here's the
here in
thing.
America.
Here's the thing. It's not even. We shouldn't even be talking about Obama because we're dealing with Trump.
True.
But if we're gonna go back to that though, during that time, some of y'all were ones that were against Obama or against Bernie Sanders. Even more recently, like Bernie's a fucking socialist or communist because of
See,
the
no
small.
flies landed on him.
Because of the small-mindedness of America. Because Americans can't deal with the word socialism. Everything has to be capitalism.
True.
Anything that is non-capitalism, capitalism, or even close to communism is bad.
Right.
Bad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Welfare is bad. But, you know, motherfuckers forget that we have corporate welfare, that we have corporate fucking
Yep.
socialism
A ton
right
of
now.
it.
Or let's just deal with the fact that your school systems, your fucking polices, your hospitals, and your goddamn streets are all examples of socialism. We pay taxes to get that service. That is fucking socialism. You put your resource in to get it back. If we don't pay money, then we put grains or we put weed or we put whatever the
Right.
fuck you can put,
Whatever.
right? You know what I mean?
I think.
Damo can astral project for people for fucking, you know.
So we're gonna talk later. Okay.
I
Buddy,
got a
I
quick
got
question
some
on
stuff for you.
racism, though. I wanted to ask you this. So you know your three young ones, light skins, right?
Yeah.
So it's a two-part question.
Okay.
He never has a one-part question.
Yeah, I know.
Well, he
it's
was like,
really never
never,
one.
always
It's,
has a
it's really
modifier.
it's gonna be
That's
fascinating
okay.
because I wanted to ask her this for a long
His
time.
questions have buffs.
Because you know how are you going to react when they come into a racial dispute at school, right? And two, do you think you'll be able to relate to them, or like how would you go? And I guess
Valid question.
you know what I'm saying. I guess are you ready for that? Because you know I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna come.
Right.
And you have a young son too. I'm just gonna say he's gonna get it regardless. And you know, so I'm guessing I say, how are you getting yourself mentally ready for that? And you know what I'm saying?
You know, I mean that is a really valid question. I don't think that I have pondered on it too much. I don't know. I got 3 different shades.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You got
That is
white
crazy.
as fuck.
You really do.
Julian's looks
Right.
mixed, you know, and
Right.
then Halen is tan.
right. That's what I'm saying.
So I don't know. It's like I haven't really pondered that too much. I really don't know
So,
how I would kind of.
This is shitty, but I don't think I don't think you'll ever have to deal with it
Because they're like
because they're light enough that they're gonna pass,
acceptable.
and they're gonna pass in a way that, like Nyla is gonna straight up look like a white girl.
Well, my thing
Halen
is
is-
like how they're gonna identify, because then I've asked Halen that. I was like, you know, do you see yourself like as a
Huh.
black woman, or do you see yourself like as a white woman? She goes, well, I'm both.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, you are. Like, okay.
That's what.
You know, and then there's
She
Nyla,
did.
like,
I
you know,
guess I'll
she's,
do that.
That's
I
the
got it.
answer.
and then there's Nyla, you know, she's really, really light. She's my lightest
Bright.
one. Yeah,
Bright,
so
bright.
it's like, she might.
But you know what?
Just
Her
pass as
attitude and her character
Oh, I
is
know.
gonna come off black. She does not come off white.
No,
You
she's
said
not
you're
submissive by
fucking
any
Lord.
means.
Is that what white is? Is submissive?
Submissive. I
White
I think
women?
that is a.
I think so.
I think that's a very well
That's
coined term
Oh,
for
that's
white
what-
women,
oh,
and I've
really?
seen
Not
plenty
all,
of.
but
Because
most.
I have
some-
seen plenty of videos where black men are being interviewed. Do you prefer white or do you prefer black?
Yeah, and they're like, oh. white
And a
women
lot
are
of them
submissive.
choose white, and their
Yeah.
reason is because they're submissive.
They're
I don't
so
have to do
adaptable.
shit. I
They're
don't
so
have to
Yeah,
listen to
they're
shit.
fucking
I don't
adaptable.
know. Sister's been looking delicious to me.
Right,
They be
right.
looking like
But the
sisters.
personality difference between the two is so
Mm.
vast that it's automatically assumed that white women are very submissive and we're gonna
Right.
do whatever,
Adaptable.
do whatever,
And I think that's such a
adaptable,
cultural myth
and
and
that
bullshit.
black women are angry and hateful.
Well, that I'm not.
No,
gonna
no,
get
no,
into.
I-
That's
no.
born completely
No.
out of stereotype.
No,
There's-
exactly. It's
No,
the same
yeah,
way
it
with
is.
white women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As submissive as
I've
as
never
I
met a
am,
submissive white woman.
I was gonna say
Never.
I'm a little submissive.
What?
You don't think
Are
so?
you serious?
Why?
You?
Oh yeah.
Fuck no.
I'm not submissive.
Nah, I'm
This
not.
man gets whatever he wants
Yeah.
when he wants it.
And
At
you
a
do
price,
too.
At a
No, I don't.
cost. This is, you know,
You
you
see,
know
look
what?
how
See, this
look how
is
you
the
just
thing.
bullied up.
This is
Like
the
you
thing.
are not submissive. You look.
This
I
is
do
the
like
thing.
that.
She
I feel
really
like
is.
I'm
submissive.
Look
I do
at her.
whatever I'm told.
She like
I
that.
do.
The bulldog
Do
came
I
out
not?
of her.
Do I not? Am I not submissive in some way?
Do I not?
Right. That is the most aggressive, submissive question.
But that's
I
Say
think,
the right
I
fucking
think,
answer.
me personally, I think people, and then I'll step back. I think people misconstrue aggression with finesse, because I think in the case of black women, they don't have the opportunity or the time to play with you.
Right.
So let's get
They
right to the
don't.
fucking point.
White
buddy.
women got time today.
White
Yes.
women, no,
They do.
and it's more
They
than
do.
that. It's more than that. You got time because you have to. Because in terms of the way this shit works, y'all are the closest to the top, right?
That's sad because
But-
we're so far
right,
from the
right,
top.
no,
that's
I'm
sad.
not saying that's a good thing. Let me.
But you can cling
You-
onto
you-
something. That's
Right. So
Right,
you
no, you're
have
right.
to.
That's white
you,
privilege.
You in order to survive,
It is.
you have to finesse it. You have to be subtle. So what we think of as submissive is actually subtlety that white women have, or non-women of color, because Asian women have picked this up too. They're not direct, even though Asian women have a stereotype of being a dragon mom and shit, right? But then they also have that submissive geisha Asian woman. Nah, motherfuckers just know how to shut their mouth when old Henry is do, you know what I mean? Shut the fuck up. And when it's not time, she not willing to talk and say that shit. White women got the Debo game down pat.
Right.
I
And
meant-
so I'm going to slide backwards here.
Uh-huh.
Am I not somewhat submissive?
Going back to her.
10%.
Yes.
You see that she's calm
Yes.
Right, Tim.
No, I'm
just give her
curious.
10%.
Are you
I
proud
am-
to be submissive?
I'm not proud. I'm
It
not.
sounds like you really
sounds
want
like you're
this.
No, hold on,
really-
hold on,
yeah.
hold on.
What? Am I not?
I do whatever the fuck I'm told.
Am I?
I'm
Just
told
tell
to
me
do it,
now.
okay? Don't
Am I
fucking-
not?
I
I
am not
am.
You
proud.
better answer this correctly.
I am.
God damn it. Fuck Jesus.
I am
Go to
the
bed.
most submissive
She
person
said,
in
"Go
this
to
world.
bed."
Go to bed.
Going
no.
back to Cody's question.
When can I get mine answered?
Nyla won't be ran over. That's for sure. She's not gonna take nobody's fucking shit.
No, she doesn't
I
now.
don't think she's gonna even have time for no guys. Like,
Right.
I don't
Taurus.
have fucking time.
She's a bull.
Yeah. Jillian.
God.
Can I tell you, little Julian? I see him as an athletic intellectual.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I can just see him playing sports and then going home and be like, no, not tonight, and reading a book.
Yeah.
I really do. I just get that vibe from him.
I think the reality for all three of them kids is they will always be looked at as unique in the world because we live in a white structure that looks at you from a lens of
What's your color tone is?
your value and who you are as a person is based on how far away you are or how close you are to the shade of whiteness that's acceptable.
But the amount of
What?
blackness is cool. So,
Yeah,
so Pat Mahomes is the GOAT,
Yeah.
right, and is allowed to be the GOAT, right, in the NFL because it's like,
I see where you're going with
okay.
that. It took me to say where he's going with
So
that.
he would not be if his skin was dark.
If he was, Lamar Jackson had to literally bully his way to
Right.
be one of the faces of the league. Like it's one of those things where versus Pat Mahomes,
Win the Super Bowl.
like they're just like, yep, hey, yep, this guy's he's the one.
But-
Why?
but-
Because
and
it's
so-
like low key they realize like there's not we're running out of white quarterbacks that are really the face and that cool
Yeah, the
and
Brady's
this
and the
that the
Drew
other
Brees and
and
the
Rodgers
the really
and all
cool
that.
guys are the black dudes.
Right,
Like
because
damn,
hip-hop
just
is
like in
the-
everything else.
Black culture is the But what's gonna happen with your children is that they're
I know some
always
cool
gonna
white
be
people.
they're either gonna be
Yeah,
white,
hella cool.
mixed, and mixed, and it's never gonna because the shade that they look. To your point of what she's not gonna have to deal with that. You, even though you are
Bright as fuck.
right, you have such strong black features that is like that's a nigga. And, you know what I mean? Like,
Okay, so
but let me
but
finish. So,
Julian
then
would go-
so we get to Julian. He's gonna look either Arab or Mexican or Italian or something. They're never gonna equate
Right.
to black
Right.
unless he points it out.
Right.
Nyla will never look like anything but
No
a
one
white
would
girl.
ever think
Julian
she
will.
was.
He might, but Daddy
Yeah.
doesn't look like Daddy is black and looks black if you know it. But if you didn't, he could.
You would have thought he was like.
I mean, you could throw him.
Yeah.
You could throw him anywhere in Louisiana or the South, and he could blend in with a mestizo, a mulatto, anything. You know what I mean? So they're never gonna necessarily say black. They're gonna know it's other.
Right.
That's
They're
what it'll
other.
always be.
Exactly.
I'm
There'll
just
always
like
be
another and
other,
everything.
but other isn't necessarily bad.
Right.
Other, unfortunately, in our structure, other allows you to pass and move in angles
It does.
that, as long as you are not black, you're good to go.
Yep.
That's just the way this shit works.
Have
It
you
is.
seen the National Geographic fucking magazine cover for what all Americans would look like by the year of like 2080?
Yeah.
And it was like a
The most-
beautiful woman that was like Nyla's skin or Halen's skin complexion with
Yep.
like green eyes and like blonde curly hair. It was just like the
The
face of
Beijing
like
of the world,
yeah.
yeah.
And it was like that's what every American is gonna look like by like 2050.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm
yeah,
tired
what's
of those
wrong
fuck
with
shit
that?
white
Like,
men.
what's wrong with that?
Yeah,
Are you guys
when white
trying to get
people
into the
see-
fact
yeah,
of like
white people
white
seeing
there
that
will
shit and
be
they was
no white person anymore, just like no black person anymore. There will be all just a beige
Well, see, that's the thing.
light
Unfortunately,
skin tone. Is that what they were trying to get at? I'm not sure. Like,
yeah,
what
I think
was the
what
point?
they're saying is that
It's a
well, really, what
fear
they're
baiting.
it is fear baiting because what they're getting at is that America. They're assuming that America was established as a white country, and so the face of America was Marilyn Monroe, and now it's become
powdered wigs and fucking wooden
It's,
teeth.
you
is what it
know,
was.
Kim
Well, it's-
Kardashian.
yeah, it's
That's
become-
what Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian.
yeah.
So
So
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian molding herself after black women.
Right.
So
Right.
it's like, all right, so this is already becoming this hybrid.
right.
And so whenever it gets to the point where it's actually a light skinned woman, it's like, oh shit. Like, wait.
So, and what's
like,
fucked? What I think is happening is there's the fear baiting is really clicking up, and going back to your question about the
there's gonna be no
you know
more
why is this all
Yeah.
happening right now is Trump realizes one that he has a very strong small-minded base, and he also knows that he's in trouble. He knows that a lot of things that he's done, whether purposely or inherently, has exposed shit that people normally wouldn't see. That's why you know there's bullshit. And so right now they're struggling and fighting to try and keep it. I mean, the reason why is that him and the people that he represent are on two different sides. Khalil could probably, Savvy could explain this much better. He uses the racial aspect to try and stoke the small-minded pieces of America, whether it's black, white, or other, because there are or can be prejudiced black people. I won't say racist, because racism requires power, and black people don't have power. But you can be very prejudiced towards other races and things like that, right? So they're stoking that information and that division. He wants that because he is here to make money. And he knows that on his way out and in, he has made a shit ton of money. The problem is, he's broken a shit ton of laws along the way. And when he goes out, I feel like the chains are coming. And so he's trying to stall that shit for as long as possible. And also create a fucking true and viable, untenable situation where we do have a civil war. You know what I mean? I think that comes from the fear of white America losing its grasp on the majority in this country because they know birth rates are going down because of capitalism and because of the struggle and the stress of just trying to fucking live. People aren't
wants to have kids
right.
in this world.
People don't want to have
now.
kids. You have murder rates up and psychosis and breakdowns. The shit is falling the fuck apart all around them. And on top of that, baby numbers are dwindling. I mean, not only are the baby numbers dwindling here, but in other countries, other white European countries, they're having less and less babies for many different reasons. And the places where they're putting the vaccines and the places where the fucking Ebolas and the SARS and shit are popping up are in places where there is a high population of black people. Because black people don't go nowhere. We've been here and we're not going nowhere. Babies keep coming. Black babies, Latin babies. Any dark-skinned fucking culture makes babies. They have issues, but here, that is the fucking fear that the white babies are dwindling off. And then you have the black culture that kicks in. So now the white women want to be black. And the white women love black men because the fucking white men are assholes and been beating them down. And y'all tired of the bullshit.
But you know what's really funny is what they also...
Sorry.
Bro, I was trying to find one way. But no, I'm just so I feel like it's
is
funny
that not right though?
I feel like it's funny though how they flip like how that fear is really from from something that they made up. Like so it's like they're scared to see the humanity like America will look like light-skinned people mostly, and it's like, wait, that means that they'll be black or they'll be something else. They won't be white because y'all made up the fucking one drop rule,
right?
To where it's like, yo, if there's even an ounce of even a little bit of black in you, then you're black, right?
You know,
okay, so if we use that against you, then it's like one of those things where at some point there's gonna be way more people with just a dot of something in them that's not white than there are white people, and then you're gonna be sitting here like, oh shit, well we're outnumbered because we don't really look at you like you're one of us.
You got Colin Kaepernick, you got Pat Mahomes, God, I can't even think of a few others, but there's a lot of, Zendaya, Meghan Markle, like a lot of major figures in different places here and there are not white people. They're like either white. Kim Kardashian she's white, but really she's Armenian, which is not white. I don't think, I might be wrong, but either way, she's had enough black D that she's got some. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell.
But she up in the White House making moves. I'm just saying, like, the entire culture is being shifted away from this.
Well, you know what's really freaking funny is I know of a lot of white women my age that absolutely despise being white, and that they will literally fucking spit in a tube, send it to Ancestry.com, and want to know where the fuck their ancestors are so that they could finally be of fucking
Not white
foreign
person.
nature. Yeah, so that way they don't have to fucking be white. This person specifically puts in her bio, I am German, Italian, and Irish. I'm everything but white.
Sorry,
Clearly, you are
that's
a
not
white
white.
American, and you were born here. Your mom's name is David. Your
Mom's name is David.
Your dad's name is David. Your mom's name is Sandra. You're born here in America. You're white as fuck. Like, you know.
Bland. Your last name is
Your-
Bland.
Your last name's fucking Smith. You're Jennifer Smith. You're white. You're not Italian. You're not German. And like that's what I see a lot of. Like people my age will do anything to be anything but white because
It's
white
terrible
is
to be white
boring.
right now.
Yeah, it is terrible to be fucking
It's
white
been
right
terrible to be
What's
white.
not boring? It's just
That's how we
It's
we
the
have no
fact that-
culture.
I
We
mean-
have
We have no
zero
culture.
fucking culture.
Yeah,
Like
because y'all-
anytime we want to
because
put
y'all
like
killed
braids in our
ours.
hair,
Like,
we're
hey,
like
like,
Yeah.
y'all
culture
killed ours, and
appropriation.
that's
We're
part of
like,
y'all
goddamn.
culture. And that's,
Does anybody
that's-
want to go in on
And
food?
that's just
No.
the munchies kicked
Yo, I'm mad
That's
Nobody
fucking
wants to
hungry.
date a white woman.
Nobody-
Everybody wants to be with a fucking Brazilian.
I'm
Everybody
white.
wants to be with a
Good.
Native American because they have culture, they have standards, they have a fucking shit that they live by, that they go by. Like we don't. Like we were with fucking white slave owners, and we were just submissive, and we just walked around barefoot and pregnant all the fucking time. Like our culture is whatever the fuck we are exposed to. So it's just like, yeah. He fucking sit here and says like, I don't want to fucking be with a white American. I want to go to Brazil and find me a
Oh,
Brazilian
yeah,
and
me-
get
oh,
treated
yeah,
like
me-
shit. I want to get slapped
Yeah,
around. Like,
no,
call me a bitch.
Dead ass. Like
That's what I
I want to.
Yeah.
Because I've been outside the country though. I've met different cultures of women though.
Exactly what it comes down to.
And
is
it's like
cultural
that. Right,
differences,
like that culture. That shit is dope to
Because
me.
white women
Yeah.
are white
And you
women
know what I'm
have
saying?
no
People
culture.
find that.
Right, I'm just saying.
Their
Well, I wouldn't say
culture
they don't have
is-
no culture. I wouldn't go.
No,
I wouldn't
we
say
don't.
that.
We don't.
I mean, if you disagree with that, then I'll say it with
What
you.
is our
But I
culture?
would.
What is
it?
our culture?
I mean, I don't know.
We
There's gotta be some culture of
married
white.
white slave owners, and we were barefoot and pregnant in the fucking houses,
Yep.
like having
You were
children.
old enough
like,
to bleed. You were old enough to breed.
That's
That's
what we've been
disgusting.
doing. Like
That's-
there's
that's
no
a true
fucking
statement.
culture
Yeah, I've heard that
whatsoever
before.
when it comes to white people.
Yeah,
We
it's
just-
disgusting.
We
I
don't
don't know.
fucking have any.
But,
I think-
but
I think-
in a lot of European places, it's not that much different. Like honestly, it's just a
Exactly.
perception.
But,
It's just
but
a
that's the thing
perception
is it's
from
such a
inside
fad.
outside.
It's such a fad, and it's such a trend to date someone outside of your culture. And it's like, I'm not gonna freaking commit to no white person. I want a Brazilian lady. I
Well, I
want
think-
someone from
so-
Italy. I want a French woman.
I think there's two
want
different things
something
going
besides-
on.
Because I wasn't,
Right
because
American.
y'all understand that, like maybe 20 years ago, that wasn't the thing. Like I feel like the thing was like, yo, like that people wanted to be American. Is American like if you could prove your Americanism, like you could you would do that shit. It's just a matter of like, yeah, times have changed,
Yeah.
and it's to the point where it's like, yo, like because of the internet. Like we get to
So that's
see
what
all
we're
these
saying,
different
is, like,
different
like,
cultures and shit,
White,
and be
nobody
able to.
wants to be with white women. Like, it's a bad time for white women right now. I feel like that's how I feel.
I don't think
Sucks to be a
that's
white
true.
woman right now.
I don't think that's true.
It's always been a bad time.
That's not
For
true.
women, not white women.
I don't think
No,
that's true.
yeah.
Because you know, if you go online, I mean, obviously,
No cap.
online is the worst place to gauge anything. So I won't even use that. But I mean, I don't think it's a bad time to be a white woman that no one wants to be with white women. I mean,
No,
I think
it's a bad time
always-
to be a woman.
It's time.
It's
for
always
it,
been
yeah.
bad to be a woman.
Well,
Yeah,
that's a
I-
different topic though.
No, it is bad. It is bad to be a woman. It is bad. I'm gonna. This is where we always kind of disagree or veer, but I'm gonna always say that it is bad to be a woman in this system. If you have to be a woman, you best hope that you're a white woman.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
that's
that
true.
Because a white woman,
Yes.
there's a white man and there's a white woman,
Yep.
and then
Yeah, 'cause-
everyone else is
And
underneath.
even in a dating like sphere, like if you think about it, like you're more likely to see like a football player, Pat Mahomes, who's his girl,
Mhm.
white woman, like
That's
you know,
a
like you
common
like
sports
like
trope.
you're and that's literally a thing that happens a lot. Like yo, you see the black dudes that actually made it, and you see their woman.
Mhm.
And it's like, yo, like, I mean, it's hard to say that it's, like, harder for a white woman than it is
Well,
for
Russell
any-
Wilson was with a white woman, and then he
Mhm.
was like, "Yeah, I don't like this cookie cutter rich white bitch shit."
I don't think it
Yeah,
was
that-
that
Look
though.
at
I think
you
it
see
was.
Von
I
Miller's
think
chick.
it was something else though.
Von
But-
Miller's chick.
She was like,
The
she
light
was a
skin?
very privileged, rich white woman.
So
Went to the same college, and like they were
Yeah.
together because they thought that they should be together, like
Right.
like both of their families or whatever. And like he
and so I
didn't
think
want
I
that
don't
for
think,
the rest of his life. He
Right.
found something more
So,
up his
I don't think it was
alley.
based. I don't think it was
Yeah.
because she was white. I think it was just because. Well, in this case, it happened to be that she was white. I think it was the difference in the upbringing and the approach and trajectory of their life, what they want out of life.
Right.
I don't think that. So, I think there is a white culture, and there's a lot of different aspects to that. I mean, first of all, what the fuck is culture, right? You know, like what it's like a traditional thing that is repetitive and always current in a group of people, right? And it's something that is supposed to like sort of harken back to who they are and
exactly
give their traditions and their values, right? So, but you know, and again, what is the white culture? A lot of times you don't realize what white culture is because I think it's the default to America. And when you have other cultures, then it feels so exotic and different
it just
that's what
feels
people
so
go towards.
mainstream to me because it's like if you look at like other cultures and like how they stay true to like who they are and like their hairstyles, their outfits, their the stuff that they do on holidays, like they don't, and then there's like white women or white people who are just kind of like with the mainstream, like whatever is in currently.
Well, and so that's the thing.
90s
So
with the big, or
what
80s
you say
with the
is
big
mainstream
hair.
is actually the white default, and what you say is the person that is.
We're just adaptable. Like that's what I was talking about, submissive and adaptable.
It's
like,
not. It's not
our
even
culture
a.
is whatever is in.
You guys, unfortunately set. It's weird.
Big asses and box braids were in, and then you saw fucking white people trying to get big asses and fucking box braids, and we get tackled for cultural appropriation. It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like whatever's in is cute. It's just
So here's the thing.
It was disco shit and stuff like
yes,
that.
that's my point.
The appropriation part isn't appropriation when white people do it. So like Kim Kardashian always is like the role model for appropriation, but she actually toes the line in a weird way where she kind of pays homage to it, and then she's snatching it, right? So where it's almost like that's my thing. Like, nah, bitch, that's not your thing. But what is appropriation to me is when someone mom made fun of my grill for 10 years and said it was goofy and looked down on it, and then all of a sudden it starts to be on the news and it's cool, and then all of a sudden mom wants to go get a grill. Like, what the fuck? You was dogging this shit.
Right.
That's the issue, and I gotta edit all of that because I said mom. But no, I mean, the whole point of appropriation is when motherfuckers dog that shit and then turn around and act like now it's cool. Now I can, because now it's been, because enough, and this is what happens. This is white culture. When enough white people decide that this is okay. So when enough pagers and justices say that I wanna rock Uggs, then it becomes cool. Even though, and I'm just picking on that. That may not have been the case, but maybe you happen to see Uggs at Walnick's a couple weeks ago, and your homegirl Chantel was rocking them. You was like, "Yo, that's fucking hot." So now you're doing it, and then it starts going. That is white culture. From my perspective, white culture is assimilation.
Which is
white culture is stolen.
Yeah, it is. White culture in its own way
That's
is.
what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not stolen, but
we're
it's
just fucking thieves, aren't we?
Yes, we're body snatchers. I told you.
in a lot of ways you are. You
Well, don't single me out. That's
honestly,
fucking racist.
current white culture is nothing more than Roman culture. It's Roman and Christian culture that's been placed here in America.
That's true.
You know, it's just roving bands of marauders that take on your shit. Like our recurring traditions and history, our holidays and shit are built off some other culture that we brought in and said, okay, that's cool, we're gonna do that. We don't like that, we're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like tap dance, I just learned this. Tap dancing comes from Irish and Scottish shit that was mixed with fucking black shit, but it gets assigned to the Irish because it's like,
the river dancers.
You're cool. You can do that. We like that. That's fun. That's heritage. You know what I mean? But let's not worry about the fact that they got that from the Caribbean black folks that were mixing with the Irish or the Scottish on those islands during slavery.
Right, that they were
You know what I mean?
enslaving.
Yeah, they don't talk about that
Irish
part.
people
You
the
could
same way
already
they was
account to like the
enslaving.
last 300 years of history just being completely watered down and like not exactly what it is.
Yeah, written by the women.
Everything that you learned, unlearn it.
Yeah.
Just forget it because it's not what you think it is.
Write your own
Can we
history.
get your phone? Can you log in on your phone so we get that order? See if you got any deals? Yeah. We're trying to get some food going. Appreciate you. That's how you get the initiative going. You just get jump right on it. You
I
feel
didn't
me?
realize that
You feel
was
me?
the thing.
Do you feel it?
Yeah. Don't forget to
Oh
snap.
my
Do you
goodness.
feel it?
So,
So thank God for the Black D interception in the
Y'all kill
white
shit
world.
too much.
wow. The Black D interception.
I'm just saying.
Low-key's been going on for a long time.
It has. It has. We had to keep it under wraps, you know.
So,
I'm gonna like hot take of the day since we're
we're going there.
like, all right, so I had a talk recently with somebody and they told me, it was like, yo, like, so really if we like it because pretty much like I seen a Facebook post and they was like they were pretty much trying to bash black guys that are dating white women.
What?
And they pretty much were trying to say like, yo, like, then they trying to be pro-black and this, that, the other. Like, what the fuck, this, that, the other. And it was like, okay, like, and pretty much there was this theory that was thrown out that was like, yo, so what if, I mean, like, honestly, like, being a black man and dating a white woman, like, is honestly the most pro-black thing that you can do, technically, in a way, if you look at it, because even if you have a baby with that woman, the baby is black. So now you're making more black people. Like, so in that space, like, it's still pro-black, because now she's not, even though before she was herself, she was a white woman or whatever, now she will forever be connected with a black man in this way where it's just like, yo, now you get to continue, like, so I don't know.
Fuck you, I win.
Yeah, like in a way that's kind of how, like, but it was like, I thought it was kind of a fun little take, but at the same time I was like, that's kind of, I don't know, like, it could work back. It doesn't always work out that way, but I feel like that was a pretty cool take that I heard.
Someone thought long and hard about that one.
No, actually, they didn't.
No.
They're
It sounded like-
spitballing.
Like they were hiding, like, bro, like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Think about it. He was like, why when we get a black baby, we fucking win, man.
Yeah,
That sounds like a high thought.
yeah,
So that's
pretty
what I was
much.
thinking about when I was
It was
high.
like, yo, like the how they were talking about how humans are gonna look in 2050. Like they're like, yo, we can speed up that process and make it like 2025.
Like, that's kind of how I thought it. I was like, damn, 2050? Like, it's gonna take that long? Like, I thought it was gonna be quicker than that.
Well, you gotta wait for the boomers to die off and shit. But you know what? Honestly, this is just me. I think people are just completely underestimating the level of racism that America still has.
Yes. I will
I think
admit to
people are
that.
underestimating that.
Yes.
Before they let this motherfucker turn into anything but a white homeland, there's gonna be an issue.
Do you think it'll be better, like, when the boomers die off?
And
Because I
that's
believe a lot of the racism
no.
is taught.
it is.
It
No,
is
it
taught.
100% is
like-
taught.
Yep.
But it's not gonna die off with the boomers because unfortunately the boomers they have passed it on to not just theirs but
That's what
them
I'm saying.
after
It's
one.
been taught. Like,
and they pass
Did you
it.
date one of those guys?
You see what I'm saying? Like,
and
and
yeah,
that's,
but that's a
Yeah,
taught, like, that's a
it was
taught
passed
thing.
on
And
to
so
him, though,
he's
but then
gonna
he
pass that
took
on.
Right,
upon himself
but
to
I'm
be
saying,
that
like, don't you
image.
think it'll kind of subside, like,
Nope.
once
And
things
it's-
die
nope.
off?
And it's
Nah.
passed on because
It might be a little less, but it's still always gonna be there.
even if it's
in
not
my
passed
opinion.
on in the mindset, it's passed on in the sense of like
Well,
they just
2050 comes, they're gonna be
they'll
pissed.
give them the advantage and show them how to keep the advantage. And it's like, yo, like, we might not exactly tell you the mindset of like, yo, it's because we hate these niggers over here, but it's like, yo, like, we just like, yo, here, stay in control. We're gonna nepotism, things like that. Like always, like it's gonna continue to like, yo. All
There's
right,
a
you
lot
just,
of motherfuckers
you
right
gotta
now.
bring your cousin in. Do not
Yeah.
bring nobody else in.
Right.
We're not even gonna say don't bring no black people in or nothing like that. Don't bring nobody else in other than your family. Like da da da.
Because we
da.
try to keep this shit straight.
Yeah.
We trying to hold on to what we got.
So it's like things like.
Yeah, I mean,
Trying to keep
it
their
is.
bloodline
It is.
going.
Honestly, I think aside from the
that
fact that
mindset
it's
continues.
taught, there's also the aspect of systemic racism that we have that's built into our processes, that's built into our police systems, our city systems, our voting systems,
Things
our
that are
everything.
that seem to be fair just because they are in place.
But they're not, and there's a lot of people that whether they're black, white, or other, that recognize and understand that level of power, and they don't give a fuck. They know that, oh, this shit is in place to hold them back. Cool, where's my check? A lot of niggas is still cipher. They just want the taste of that steak. They don't give a damn who it hurts. So
and that's why the white dudes be so hurt whenever they daughter gets with a black dude. It's not because, oh, I'm so hurt because I'm so hurt because my fucking grandson is fucked. Like, and I know it. Like
No,
so.
my father said that he was gonna be so happy if I ever had a black baby.
yeah, because
And now I have 3. It's kind of how it works. That was gonna be one of my topics I want to talk about was karma. What was the best story of karma that you guys have to share that happened to you? I'm really confused.
I think the only person that could do that would be
Instant
Crash.
karma. Hold on, Jade has got everybody beat. Because let me tell you, she was talking shit about our flour and saying how it was like an MLM, like a marketing scheme or whatever. This bitch is gonna go sell Amway. I was like, I swear to God, if her life doesn't come full fucking circle to everything that she said, I don't know who else's does.
that's why I need her to just
Jade
simply
is-
say we won't
That's
make
what I'm
it. So
saying. If you want to manifest anything in your life, we have the biggest tool, and that is Jade. Just have her make fun of what you're doing, and it's going to come true because that's exactly what happens in her life.
She's been fluffing me. Should I have her stop doing that?
So
Jade
relax,
needs
relax,
to talk
relax.
shit on you. If you want to succeed in life, have Jade talk shit on you because it is going to work in your favor. I swear to you.
Okay, we're gonna have to talk.
Yeah, Jade's life comes full circle, and it dawned on me today because she's gonna go meet these people. She's like, I almost thought I was gonna be in a cult because they were saying we don't like outsiders in our thing. And then I was like, you made fun of us for getting in this flower and
Right.
gifting and trying to spread it to you guys. And here you guys are getting
Getting
it
in the biggest pyramid scheme
Amway's
that's out
a
there right now.
Amway's a full-on MLM pyramid.
Yes,
It
that's what I tried to tell her. She goes, well, like, we met like millionaires. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's how
That's how they do shit.
That's how
Amway
they
is
do it,
tied
bitch.
to
I was
Betsy
like,
DeVos, which is tied to charter school programs, which is the whole premise. They have this fucking phrase that I can't remember, but it's an old Christian phrase that has to do with like the guts or innards of a pig. But their whole thing is about restructuring the education system and changing the very foundation of what it is from this public system to more of a charter system, so that one, they can extract money, and two, they can control it and keep it very Christian based.
well, you know,
So,
Jane Shack.
they
like,
definitely
here,
are. It's a
the
cult.
2 key words is easy money, and they're like, give it to me, like, let's go.
Well,
I
you
barely
know-
have to do anything, and I get money. Like, all 4 like, let's go.
And that's unfortunately how our capitalist system works.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, obviously it gets a lot of people. If there's MLM people with fucking Lamborghinis and they're millionaires, well,
Yeah.
yeah, everybody likes to make easy money or get rich quick, whatever.
It's not easy though.
No, it never
Tried it.
is. It never is. But she was breaking it down to me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch your kids so you can go waste your fucking time, like whatever. It's
That's how I
fine.
met Emily.
It's just, yeah, it's just funny to me because I love Jade to death, but it's almost like I can see her future. It's so predictable. It's like, okay,
Oh,
well,
so he can astral project and you are clairvoyant.
obviously.
Okay.
I mean, this is a
Right,
thing.
clairvoyant.
Like, I can predict people's futures based off what they say in real time. Okay? So,
What would you say is the greatest karma story for yourself? You might use your own question. I don't know if I keep going. I just figured we might
this
as well.
just comes back to
Yeah,
like
we
the
can.
shit that I was talking about, like the shit talking I did when I was younger
yeah.
about people with kids.
Yeah.
Hold my beer. Got
Yeah.
some bullshit.
Right.
I mean, that's mine. That's an obvious thing. You know, I need that. I learned pretty quickly after watching Jade like manifest all this shit that I should watch what I say, because that shit is
Word for spells.
literally going to manifest itself. If it's not tomorrow, it's going to be 5 years from now. It's going to
Right, it's
happen in a
coming back.
fucking way. You determine how quick that's going to happen. But yeah, so that's mine. My kids. I talked a lot of shit about people back in the day having kids young or having more than one, and that's what I got in return.
See, I feel what you say about like having to watch what you say, because it's kind of like my karma story would have to be kind of around the same thing. Of like, I just used to. I mean, I was a sheltered kid, so it was one of those things where I always just wanted freedom, and then it was like,
Man.
a nigga ended up homeless. And
Yeah.
then,
They also have freedom.
it's like,
Yeah.
damn. Like,
Seriously, and
God,
it
we
knows
would.
no bounds. It knows
Yeah,
no
exactly.
bounds. Like,
it's like, I'm going to give you exactly
what you asked for. So be fucking careful, because if you're wishing like, oh my god, I wish I could just like fall off the face of the earth for like one day, you're gonna get in a plane and you're gonna be stranded on an island like Castaway. Bitch, you're gonna be off Earth fucking.
I've always said, be careful what you ask for.
Yeah, because it knows no bounds. Have you guys ever watched that Timmy or that freaking Fairly Odd Parents episode with the genie and the lamp? And then he was like, you get 3 wishes, and like everything he wished for was like, I wish I had $1 million. Oh, but you just robbed a bank, and that's how you got your $1 million.
Right, yeah.
Like, that's how it works in real life. You really pay attention to like your life, and like you notice those things.
Well, I mean, okay,
It's
so
crazy.
I don't.
got $1 million legally in now to keep it.
I don't think it. Mom and I were having this conversation. I don't think it works exactly like that. I think I mean, for me personally, I think.
You always go against everything I say. I hate you.
Okay.
You always
that's
do.
cool. I don't go. I'm not going
Yeah, you do.
against it. I just
Yeah, you do.
compliment it.
No,
okay,
you don't.
Fine. I'm sorry.
See, I like what you said, but I think you're wrong, and you're only wrong
Wow,
because.
that sounds familiar. Sounds like every damn dinner. Every time I speak, there's always that.
What?
That's
I
pretty.
took a
and
shit in
you
the
literally
toilet today.
just do it.
Well, actually, if you want to really get technical,
You know,
I mean, hey,
the
the best
toilet
shit is.
let you shit
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he always got right. He always got
You didn't
right.
take a shit in the toilet. You left the shit in the
Yeah,
toilet.
you left it in there. So we want to get technical. That's
It
how it
didn't
really
drop, it
happened.
floated.
Yeah.
Unless
I
you
mean,
ate something
no,
bad,
you
that's
technically
on
you did take it to the toilet because that's where you chose to take your shit. I can see how you say you
Yeah.
left the shit, but you definitely did.
But that's all what he needs
You
is that
can't
one
take
little
it
slither
in the
way
toilet. You
in
could
there.
take it to the toilet. You could. I took my shit to the toilet.
Yeah.
No,
You don't
took it
take
in
a
Oh, you're
shit
correct,
in the
you're right.
toilet.
Oh,
Now I'm just-
okay.
I'm being
I
obtuse
think
as
it's really
fuck
going
right now.
deeper in
Because
that.
I
the
am.
shit
Just to
was
be
already
big.
in your body and you just
Right.
happened to take it
Oh,
to the
okay.
toilet. See, that's what I'm saying. Well, he just needs one little fucking slither of what you said to get in there, and he's in there. He doesn't care what way it is. He's gonna get in there from every angle, and he's gonna be right. Doesn't matter.
I mean, you know what? It's not okay.
Okay, what? What? What?
See, this is the trap because even if I
Well, you
respond,
can't speak because y'all are friends and your opinion's biased. You can't say that,
No,
okay?
I'm literally.
so that is so.
I'll be on the same exact thing.
That is
so
so
I'm sitting here.
That's why
fucking
y'all
fair.
are like friends and
Right,
twins.
but that's
and,
why I'm
like,
sitting
little
here.
bumps,
Stop-
yeah.
Exactly, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, she's right. Like everything, like I'm over here co-signing you while you over here trying to get on my name.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
damn,
Like,
I thought you
like-
was about to get
No.
my man over here.
No.
Don't stop.
No.
for real,
Don't
half the
talk
time
like
he is against me.
Like-
Like half the time,
Cause it's like, bro, like I understand, like, bro. Like,
every time I
like,
say
I be
something,
on
he'd be
this-
like, "But bro,
because I'm the same way. Like, so people always be like, bro, you always, and this nigga always think he right. And I'm like, bro, it's not even that.
I'm just trying to help you see the other side." Like,
And so I
yo.
hear him talking, and I'm just like, yo, like, it's okay.
See, it's a direct reflection of yourself.
I mean, yo,
Okay, so how does it not work like that then? What is your best karma story for one? Well, you haven't answered.
I don't even know that I have a good karma story for real because
You don't even have a time where you did something, and then it came back on your ass. Like,
I don't know if they fit together, but there was a time when I was hella in my bachelor days. I was like sleeping on couches doing dumb shit, and I actually had like
I thought this was about me because you looked at me.
no, but I think I told you this story. So I low key had like I like found a place. I was chilling with this homeboy or whatever, and I was out running around doing dumb shit. And me and my dude went to this party, and you know what I mean, I took care of business and and so at some point I had to use the restroom, and it just was a bad.
Oh, you told me this.
I did some shit. I shouldn't have done it. It was unnecessary. I could have found other options, but I took whatever was there and just
Right.
went with it, right?
Uh-huh.
So lo and behold, probably 3 months later, maybe even longer than that. Could have even been 6 months later. I was at this place. I was at the same crib, and my roommate's dog, who was hella cool, we were getting drunk on fucking Russian vodka. And the reason I say Russian vodka is it was hella different from the normal vodka I've had. It's thick and you know what I'm saying. So we got lit, And I woke up in the morning and I had dog shit on my feet.
Yeah.
And
Wait, did you wipe your ass with a dog?
no, that's wow. That is impressive to be able to do that. You can only do that
Because
when
you
they
said
go.
you did something, but you
I wasn't trying to go into the detail
Right,
of
but
what
I
I did.
need to know
You
that.
need to know? Now you need to know?
Yeah,
Okay.
like,
Alright, cool.
I thought you wiped your ass with a dog.
No, I wiped my ass with somebody's shirt or clothing.
Oh, okay.
And I just threw it in there. I couldn't find anything, so I just grabbed it
Okay.
right out their dirty clothes and
Okay.
put it right back in the dirty
Oh,
clothes.
Dog shit on your feet.
And then like 3 months later, I woke up and the dog had shit on my feet. And I went to tell my room. I went to tell the roommate like, bro, because it was like one of these
It's
like.
like, did you?
Yeah, your roommate said I taught her to do that.
And it-
I
was
know
like-
about my shirt.
It was like, no, it wasn't his shirt. It was a completely different scenario. I was at a party doing some wild shit, and so clearly, and so I went to my roommate like, yo, bro, what the fuck, bro? Your dog just shit in my fucking room. And he's like, why? I'm like, you're on my fucking feet, bro. And he's like, are you sure? We were drinking a lot last night. I'm like, and it was a white
I'm
boy.
like, so did you shit on my feet?
I went,
wasn't your dog, it was you.
So I went
Right,
and
like,
called
I
him
can't
a
shit on
nigga.
my own feet, my nigga.
But
Like,
in my head, I'm like, my nigga, I'm gonna shit on my feet. I don't even know. I haven't even had a squatty potty by that point, right? It hadn't even been invented. So like, how can I even? There's no physical way that I can
Bro,
squat
it's
on
not-
my
it's
fucking
not happening.
front of my feet, bro. So it was.
Said, how am I getting
That's funny,
shit
you
from
didn't
my
feel
ass
that.
to my toes?
Yeah, I was
You feel that
I was out.
warm, creamy shit hit your foot.
I was out like a lamp. You know, it sounds so worse when you say it like
I
that.
know.
Please don't do that.
Everything I say sounds worse.
You just take it to the extreme as well.
Yeah.
You're
You-
welcome.
You
You're
take a
pretty
joke and you
Lovecraft
fucking
with the
run with
fucking
that shit.
adjectives and shit. Just, you know what I'm saying? It gets super. Just get it.
Mom, what's your
Don't
what's
hate my
your
skills.
karma story?
You know, I've been sitting here thinking about it, and I don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
You never had a time where, like,
Even
literally,
something
you've
small, like
done
instant
something,
karma.
yeah,
We're
you've
going
done
funniest
something
or
and
like-
something, and then right
Just like
back,
the one that really
something
like,
happened. The
comes to you.
universe hits you right back. You do something that you know is wrong, and then the universe hits you
I
right
have
back.
no doubt there is, but I'm drawing
Okay,
a
they're gonna-
complete blank right this minute.
I tripped Halen one day and turned right around.
Why
and
is that
fucking tripped
hilarious?
myself. Like, yeah, it's instant karma. Like, instant karma.
Sorry.
I just like put my thing out and I was like walked away, haha, and then I ended up tripping over the fucking
No,
laying at the table, and I was like, all right, I deserve that.
You and your daughter just
don't
laying
know.
on the ground. Like,
I'm really gonna have to ponder this, and we'll have to discuss it offsides because
You're like, I don't know.
I can't think of anything. I try not. Karma and I have pretty good relationships.
Karma gets me all the time, like in traffic stops too. Like cut somebody off, and then like maybe tomorrow we'll come and I'll go to work and someone will
See,
cut
I don't
my
do that
ass
for
right
shit.
off, and then I'll feel like basically the whole point of karma is for you to feel exactly how that other person felt doing like
But
what you
in
did
your
to them. But yeah, so like you're gonna feel how that person felt when you did that to them.
Okay, then I have one, and
Okay.
that would be exactly it.
Okay, go for it.
That's exactly
like-
it. I was a serial cheater any opportunity that I had. So when it happened to me,
Oh, okay.
devastating.
Yeah.
Devastating.
Yeah.
So
That's
that
usually
would
how it
probably
works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I'm sure that's exactly karma's intent. was
I'll
to-
flip people off in traffic, and then next day comes someone's flipping me off. I'm like, you motherfucker. You know, that's how it works. It's karma works in like little things like that.
But you can manipulate karma. It's not really manipulating. You can change how you're treated by karma.
Yeah, you can by not doing what you did anymore.
I'm trying.
Are you?
Let's just say that I'm trying.
Listen, you're in karma's little red book.
Yeah, karma fucking hates me. No, that's the absolute truth. And I'm trying to think of a good story, but I got a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get ass with you. I do have a lot. I guess I can go funny. Alright,
We prefer that.
oh man, I think I told you the story one time. Oh man.
Just shake your cry.
So-
And then I chopped her hand off.
So, okay, so we was in the Philippines, right? I have never seen a he/she. I have never seen one of my. I'm 19
Oh,
years
You
old.
mean a
Yeah,
transgender?
yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. I have never seen one my whole life. I'm 19 years old. I'm in a different country. I got some money.
Clearly, you're still
So,
19 calling it a he.
Yeah, whatever. She-male, whatever.
Oh
we call it.
my
Whatever.
Transgender, say it.
Transgender,
Okay.
whatever. Long story short, I'm with a group of people with me and shit. We go to have a good time. We end up meeting some women, and the one I mess with, she's a woman, but her friend is a dude.
And you didn't know it, right?
Didn't know it. So I was like, hey,
We call
hey,
this.
my guy, hey, you can have her. I got hers. You know. So we partied all night. Did not know she's a fucking man. I let my homie go all the night with her. Then he got to the hotel. He gets into the room. He's doing something to him. And all you hear is this, what the fuck? And you know, he came out mad, like ready to fight me. He was like, you got a dude. And it's like, oh, okay.
He
So
said,
like,
oh.
I had to calm him down,
He
get
said,
like him
so,
out.
all right,
So
I'll
the
get the-
next,
I'll
so like,
take it.
so the
Like,
next
convenience,
day,
it's
we
fine.
get fucked up at like 12. We're on the pool. He ends up getting a couple of them, and I mind you, I'm fucked up. He ends up trying to get me, you know, and I was
Yeah.
like, at first I didn't see it. I'm like, okay, cool. Did nothing. Something like that. Did nothing.
Right.
She chilled with us on poolside. Hey, fuck you. Poolside.
Tuck was on point.
Whatever. I didn't think 2 minds of it. I'm like, you know, he got over it. So he set me up for like a whole 7 hours, and as we were ready to leave, luckily, you know, another guy was like, bro, you know that's a fucking dude, right? I'm looking at her, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I was like, yo,
she's
I'm
taller
like,
than me.
no, she like, I was like, yo, I said, yo, to be honest, are you a dude? She's like, I was at one point. And I'm like, that's fucked up. So I get that little scenario. You know, he tried to get me to go with her, but it didn't happen. But, you know, I guess I didn't even try, and the karma still happened to me there. So
Would you be admitting to us right now had it gone further than sitting
Yes.
poolside sipping mojitos?
yes, I
You
would.
would admit it?
I would admit it. If I
Okay.
ever did, I would probably be.
That
I probably would have told
example didn't
one
get you?
person, and if I ever got comfortable and actually told more people,
Yeah.
I would admit it. But I've never done anything with a man. I can honestly say I've done. Never.
I did some wild shit.
I've done wild
but
shit, you know, but I've never can't. But that's one of my karma stories. We'll leave it at that.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well,
I
guys,
don't
I'd
know.
love to stay and chat, but I don't want to stay and chat. Yeah, I got kids and I gotta go home.
Oh,
It's almost
your-
10.
your
We've been
karma
going on
needs
this
you?
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Her karma needs her.
Yeah, it's been a good session. Well, I mean, it was a free-for-all, so we were just getting a lot of wrap-up, a lot of catch-up.
A lot of mustard.
Yeah, I didn't even fucking get my hot take. I did a lot of talking, so I can do that. So,
You got a lot of editing to do.
yeah, shit ton of editing.
You know when you watch the Jerry Springer show and you have all this fucking chaos, and at the end he comes and he's like, if you're ever in a relationship like this, you have to understand 2 parts in the whole and the whole is the other. You know, I feel like that's how he was this whole time. Like after we were done rambling, he'd come and be like, basically my take on the whole situation.
Yes.
And it was just like,
Yeah.
Cross legs and all.
I like my legs crossed. It's fucking comfortable.
It's like the
Do
tone
you
of
cross your legs,
voice, and he comes in with like the
How is that comfortable to you,
conclusion.
Like, you have thick thighs, like.
It depends on how.
I'm sorry.
No, we were good. I was just making fun of me. It's fun. It's
Like,
fun.
but do you ever
I'm
wonder, like,
sorry.
how does homeboy, does he cross his legs?
No, never. It's
How's that
air your
comfortable
balls.
to you?
all
Is
the
it
time.
for short legs or something?
Maybe. I mean, I can't do it.
He's
Like,
got thick thighs.
yeah,
He
I
just
know
find
he
ways
can,
to
but
do
that
it.
shit hurt. Like,
I can't
that
do it
shit
for long.
hurts, bro. I don't
No,
know.
it's
I've
just
seen
comfortable to
you
me.
sit comfortable like that for a while.
Yeah.
On the couch, you're like,
Yeah, just like that. I'm just used to doing it. So I'll do like
Now
that.
let's all try it.
No.
It's
know,
one leg over the other leg.
see, I
leading
understand
at
it's
the
easy
knee.
for you.
The
That
back
pressure,
of the
your
knee touches the
jewels,
other
other
side
side
of
of
the
the
knee.
There you go,
Constantly.
Davo.
that's not
Yes.
comfortable. I'm sorry.
This is
I mean,
not for you
It's
guys.
an
You guys
hour.
have
Maybe if
ball
I-
size.
yeah, we're going.
Some space.
Yeah, I see guys sit like this.
So here's
That
my.
I could do, but I can only do it for so long. But this, oh hell no, I can't do it.
No, I don't know. Honestly, I do it because I've seen professors and teachers do it, and it just looks fucking regal to me, and it just looks like.
You do it like this. That's uncomfortable. But you got bigger thighs. So.
But-
He literally can do it just like ladies do in a skirt.
I
don't mean that-
There's your
My
point.
girlfriend
I don't
said-
mean that bad. I mean that you're
And that's where
very
you exit
No,
out.
flexible.
literally, yeah,
Oh.
bro. When I say yesterday, I'm sitting here like,
I gotta
bro,
get out of here.
relax, bro. Like, all right,
Love
like
you.
I allow you to,
See you later.
like,
Oh.
I allow certain things, but it's like it gets to a certain point where it's like, relax, bro.
Chill.
Like you're not gonna demasculate me.
No, that's not what that was. I'm
No.
just,
It did. It kind of
it
felt
did.
that way.
No. It was more
Well-
like very flexible hips and stuff.
See, again.
Yo,
It's
I'm
very,
lying on
it's
that
very
one.
demasculated.
It is. What is
You're
that?
right. He sits like a lady in a skirt.
Yo, you do it so well, like it's a lady in a skirt.
Like a lady. He has really flexible hips. You know who else has flexible hips? Pregnant women.
That
It's
might
not
be.
his pelvic bone that flexes, but
Yeah,
we won't
but
go to
still.
the semantics of it.
That might be just y'all's secret.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know. I just like shit like that. I don't give a fuck.
like, oh yeah, if like nah.
I mean, it's no different than. To me, it's no different than like when you hold the cigarette, and you know what I mean, or when people hold their glass and they got the pinky out, because they just that's I don't know, they feel like they're doing
It
something.
just happens.
Yeah, that's just
Yeah,
how I
I
feel.
get it.
My hot take, since it's just the three of us,
Fuck. Everybody that just left.
all them hoes.
We the
Eat
gang.
them back. Nah, I don't like this new. I've said this before. LGBTQ, whatever.
RLMNOP.
Yeah, I don't like that Q shit.
I thought, yeah, it's the key.
Yeah, I don't like that Q shit. And then they got Q plus, and it's not my place
How
to
can
like.
it be a plus question? Question plus
Here's
something?
my thing, and no, I kind of get it because people are non-binary. Some people are twin flames.
Some niggas are half deer.
Yeah.
It's
My
That's the plus.
issue-
The plus could be
Here's
like
my thing though,
anything.
and I'm gonna bring it
There's no
back to the
restriction.
black shit. But when it comes to culture and when it comes to people doing things, and when Tiger Woods goes off and fucking wrecks his car and does he's held accountable as a representative of the black community. You know what I mean? Like people do shit and they hold your community accountable, right?
Right.
So what I am bothered by is that, and there's people that be like, yo, they got drag queens and transgenders reading the kids. I don't necessarily think that's appropriate so much, but I can understand the encouragement of expression. I get that part. What I don't get is how you need to, if this is your community and that's your label, then you need to police that shit. And from what I've seen, there's too many questionable folks that can be like pedos or like on some fuck shit.
Oh, yeah,
And they
you're
slide
totally-
in up under that LGBTQ
Like,
plus
I'm a
shit.
Q plus plus.
See,
I mean, but that's the same way there's people that might slide in underneath the BLM.
Right, yeah.
That might not be actually for the cause. But
Yeah.
It's just like, yo, just because there's something here and now I can
It's media.
wreak some havoc. Or
Yeah,
I can just do
okay.
something, you know,
media,
so
media,
media.
the way they spin it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
We always say any publicity is good publicity.
I don't know, man. Like, I just got a real issue with me personally, I have a real issue with the rise of, not the rise, but like just how we turn a blind eye to pedophilia and just, like, it's just not cool. It's not cool. You know, like, niggas.
I don't think it's a blind eye. Like, literally, the Netflix, they put out a fucking movie that had like some fucking
Little
kids,
girls.
Yeah, little girls
Yeah.
and shit. And Rotten Tomatoes tried to give it like a good, like some. I'm not gonna say it was Rotten Tomatoes, but some publication tried to give them like a good rating, pretty much, like movie wise. And like the fan rating was literally like 0.2, like type shit.
He's like, nah, this is
like,
basura.
everybody else was like, nah, this shit is ass. Like, yo, we're not, nobody approves of this shit. So it was just like, the fact that they still was trying to pass this shit off as like something that's like suitable to consume is just like, I don't know, it's a weird, like, but everybody was definitely on their ass about that shit and was like, yo, this shit's not okay.
Right.
This shit, like, so I feel like it's becoming more of a open conversation of realizing.
So the
that
realization
it's
is coming up.
Yeah.
Because for me, that's been a problem for a long time. Yeah. I think we should end the episode on that note. I hope y'all heard those barking spiders. Appreciate y'all coming out and hanging out with us for this extended episode. Hope you sit through and listen to it all. Peace.
What motherfucking gang, bitch.
Alright then, that's gonna do it for this time, folks. Hope y'all found a spark of interest along the way. If not, shit, spark another one and try again.